Hi there, folks. Welcome to RRTV's live coverage of the Speedway night. Let's call it that. And you've got myself, Bernie Weemers, filling in for Clint tonight. So that's a bit of a turn up for the books. But I've got Sean O'Hara in the comm box with me. So welcome, Sean. Got another fantastic night of Speedway action coming to our way.
Good evening, Bernie. It's good to have you in the box with me tonight. Yeah, it's looking for obviously round 3 of the Australian Speedway League Speedway Championship. Looking at first round tonight being the street stocks, as always, followed by our midgets and our sprint cars.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic lineup, folks. If you're joining us for the first time, it's pretty much a night of Speedway action. And as Sean said, we're starting with the street stocks from there, going to the midgets a bit later on tonight, and then the big bangers come out, and that's the sprint cars to end a great night of Speedway action here on RRTV. But we're coming to you live tonight from Eldora, and it's round 3 of a 12-round series.
Yeah, Eldora, generally a difficult track here to pass the high line, definitely the way around here, so it'll be interesting to see how the track comes in through the night. Obviously, we're starting during the day for our street stocks and then evening for midgets, and we will be racing under lights for our Premier Series this evening, the sprint cars.
Yeah, fantastic. And we've got our driver spotlight. We're covering off tonight, Sean, is John Schultz in the number 78. We can see him out there on track at the moment in his street stock. And I'll tell you what, that car is beautifully presented. But I reckon by the end of the night, she might have a few bangs and bruises on her.
Yeah, most definitely. We expect to see that in street stocks. Obviously, being non-open wheelers, they can lean on each other a little bit more. So, yeah, those fenders may not be as straight as they look tonight. So, John, obviously coming out of the Filthy Minds Racing stable. He's got a few sponsors, obviously, North Brisbane Slots. And we hope he has a great night being our driver spotlight tonight.
Yeah, we're looking at his last 3 finishes, the sim finishes. It's been 7th, 8th and 6th. So he's definitely someone that we'll definitely need to keep an eye on out there tonight. And, of course, we'll be following his journey throughout the night, folks, and giving you more information on him. But from what I understand, we'll be seeing him racing in the street stocks, Sean, and then a bit later on tonight, he'll be backing that up with the sprint cars.
Yeah, that's correct, Bernie. So like most drivers here tonight, they're doing the double stint. So John will be doing street stocks, as you said, and then sprint cars. Definitely our spotlight driver tonight, obviously being 10 years experience in sim racing. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do here tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I'm going to try a new camera tonight, Sean. That is the grid camera. I've thrown it together. It's not very flash, folks, but we'll give it a go anyway and see if we can highlight the drivers a bit more as we go through the grids here for each heat. But for viewers joining us once again tonight for the first time, very, very fast-paced action, not only during these heats, but even backing them up. You just get one heat finished and we're straight into the next one.
Yeah, that's correct. So the format tonight for the street stocks, we are obviously in our 15-minute practice. We have 5 minutes to go of that. Followed by that, we will have our time trials, which will be 3 laps. We then move into our heats, where the fields get split up into 3 heats. They will be 8 laps each, and 5 from each heat will transfer through to our A main. The guys that do not transfer will go into our B main, which will be 12 laps, and I will let you know once the fields are sorted how many will transfer from that B, Bernie.
Yeah, fantastic, and can just see them out there at the moment. Another driver that's joined us tonight is Shane Van Gisbergen, and he's in that 97 green and red and yellow machine. He always loves to come out in very bright colours, doesn't he? And we'll see him in action here tonight at Eldora.
Yeah, he certainly loves to stand out. You'll definitely know when he's behind you because you can see him coming up in the mirrors. Obviously, dirt on iRacing, you have the luxury of running a rear view mirror. It's quite interesting, Bernie. I don't think he's actually run the street stock before, as I noticed he was looking for a setup previously in practice.
Yeah, and he's at the moment having a look at the times. He's around about 5th fastest from what I can tell in practice, and we'll see how he goes. But isn't it a beautifully presented car? Bright pink wheels on the inside, bright yellow on the outside. That's what we like to see.
Just having a look at our feature winner from last week, Zach Masters, currently sitting in 4th position. So he's looking to have a good night if he can transfer that 4th in practice into qualifying.
Yeah, and the other people to keep an eye on out there will be Brett Wheeler. He's back out there again. He struggled a bit last week, didn't he? Didn't quite get that set up the way he went, but as the night went on, he did get stronger. I think he posted about 4th on the night, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a great drive in the feature. He didn't have a great start to the night. He found himself mid-pack in the A main, and he basically ran the top, got that to come in for him, and he made up some good positions and just missed the podium.
Yeah, so if we have a look at the point score at the moment, folks, we have Zach Masters. He is leading the way. He's on screen at the moment. So he's leading the field on 294 points, but just 2 points behind him. That's how close it is. Brett Wheeler on 292 points. He's going to be out for a good finish tonight once again. Nathan Clark sitting in 3rd. He's on 280 points. He's currently 4th fastest in the number 25 Worm Paints entry. And then Daniel Gow. We've got Daniel there in 4th, and he's on 278 points. Just having a look if Daniel's, he's not on the track at the moment, but we'll see him in action a bit later on. And then rounding out your top 5 is Troy Smith on 272 points.
Yeah, just having a look at Daniel down in 8th. As I speak, just jumps to 6th. So I guess he's just trying to dial that car in. That would be a little bit low to his standards where he's sitting in 6th position.
There he is. Yeah, my telemetry showed that he wasn't actually on the track, but he is out there. So I'm just having a look for our 5th person. That's Troy Smith. Is he actually? Yeah, there he is. And he's out there in the number 13. So lucky number 13, hey?
Definitely lucky for some and unlucky for others.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Some people swear they'll never run the 13. Other people absolutely love it, don't they?
Yeah, superstition even in virtual world are definitely there. I know some people that will never run green on their car. So people from the real world do bring their superstitions into the virtual world.
Yeah, I used to have socks that I never washed. No, only joking. But we should also give a big shout out to Clint Smith. His child's having some troubles sleeping at the moment, so he's quite exhausted, but he will definitely be back with you, Sean, next Wednesday night.
Yeah, most definitely enjoying his hot dogs and beers, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's putting his feet up, watching all the action, and I'll tell you what, I feel a little bit out of practice doing this. I haven't been doing much commentary of late.
You've definitely picked a good night to come back to it, especially with so much racing. You're definitely going to get a lot of practice in.
Definitely will. We can see Gavin Sadler out there in the 71 at the moment, 9th fastest, and once again he's in that beautifully presented street stock, and he's no slouch behind the wheel, is he?
No, definitely not. He's not always the fastest, but he's so consistent. He will always be in that top sort of 5 to 10 mark, even if he does start lower down the grid.
Okay.
Looks like that will bring us to the end of practice, Benny, and we will move into qualifying now.
Fantastic, and just waiting to get cameras up here on the cars as they go out, and we can see Zach Masters already out there. Bring the top 10 quali standings up, folks, so you can see where your favourite driver's standing at any one time as we see Zach into the wall. That's not a good way to start qualifying.
No, that'll rattle his nerves a little bit, but I'm sure he'll regather and start the next lap and set a quick time here at Eldora.
Yeah, and we've got John Schultz, our spotlight driver. He's just starting his quali now, and we'll see what sort of time he can set. For the viewers following at home, he's sitting 6th in the championship for street stocks at the moment as I wrestle with my mouse, and we'll see if he can improve on that tonight.
Currently, Daniel Gow at the top of our standing sheets with a 19.544. Looks like everyone's running the high line here, Bernie, so that looks like the quickest line around at the moment.
Yeah, and then we've got Ryan Gorton. He's second. He's only 600ths of a second off. Alan Tacken sitting in third at the moment in quali. Then we've got Nathan Clark in 4th. 5th, Stephen Watts. John Schultz, he's currently sitting in 6th position.
That looks a bit unfortunate for Zach Masters there. He did hit the wall on his outlap and doesn't look like he's been able to put a quick time together. He is currently sitting in 12th.
Yeah, so quite a lot of work for him to do there, isn't he? And for him, not the sort of start to the night, but, you know, we pretty much see the heat races, even if they have a slow start, they generally the cream will rise to the top by the end of the night.
Well, that's the good thing about heat racing too. The time trials does obviously give you a little bit of an easier night, but if you do time trial bad, it doesn't end your night, which is good. You can still drive your way up and even make it straight into the A main.
Yeah, exactly right, and that's what's so exciting about this form of motorsport. Now, folks, I'll warn you, I used to watch Speedway a lot when I was a kid, but I've been out of it for quite a while, so you won't be hearing me talking about cushions and all that stuff, because quite frankly I don't understand it, and that's why we've got experts like you and Clint calling these races, Sean.
Yeah, if you haven't been in it sort of all your life, the terminology is a little bit hard to grasp, so we will forgive you that for Bernie. Now, Brett Wheeler, as we were talking, has taken pole position with a 19.478, so our man to watch has put it on the pole.
Yeah, that's looking ominous, isn't it? And John Schultz is down to 9th, 10th, Gavin Sadler at the moment, Shane Davies 11th, 12th, Billy Ryan, and Ryan Parker is 13th.
Just a few cars still on track, Bernie, just finishing off their laps. So we'll wait for them. We have a minute left in time trials for those last few people to finish their laps off.
Yeah, you can see Matthew Lawson on screen in the number 24 at the moment, got it into the wall as he's also running this high line. Looks like, as you said earlier, that's going to be the line that they're going to favour as he hits the wall once again.
Yeah, Clint and I were talking last week just how hard it is to run that high line and run it smooth every single lap. If you make one little mistake, that wall's going to grab you and it's probably going to damage your car and put you out of your heat or the feature.
Yeah, so one could say it's a very fine line being up there, couldn't it? And we've seen people like Brett Wheeler and that, they really run it closely up there, but as you said, that wall tends to suck you in. If you hit it, like we've just seen, you're not going to have a very good run. Rick Burt's also out there at the moment doing his time trial. He's in the 022, sitting in 19th at the moment, and looks like someone's attacked his car with spray paint. Or am I imagining that?
The blue and white scheme I'm seeing on screen. Not sure if it's spray paint, but definitely looks like it, yes.
Thinking it looks like something that should be... Oh, there we go. Oh, no, it's not spray paint, it's the logo. DNA Motorsports, there you go.
DNA Motorsports. So let's run through your qualifying order. So Brett Wheeler will be your fast man for the night, 19.478. In second position, we have Daniel Gow, Ryan Gorton in third, Alan Tacken in fourth position. James Rice will be your fifth place car for tonight. Nathan Clark is in sixth, Stephen Watts in seven, Marcus Kanitska in eighth, John Schultz in ninth, and rounding out your 10, Gavin Sadler.
Yeah, and one of the viewers wanted us to know who we think is going to win the A-Main tonight. Who's on your books here?
Geez, we're getting called out early here, aren't we, Bernie? I tell you what, with Shane Van Gisbergen in the server, you definitely can't rule him out, but I'm definitely going to go for a regular and say Brett can do it tonight.
Okay, so we'll see how they go. You can see the field gridding up at the moment, folks, and we'll take you through that grid very shortly as they roll out of the pit area now. Let's have a look at them. So in the number one position on the inside, we've got the number 2, Brett Wheeler. He's joined on the outside of row 1, Alan Tacken in the number 21. Stephen Watts out of the second row on the inside in the number 5, Gavin Sadler. He's starting out of the 71 on the outside. Looking back at the third row, we have Ryan Parker in the number 54 starting on the inside. George Fullerton in the 500 on the outside. And then bringing up the rear of the field is Rick Burt.
So once again, just pacing under the pace car. We will do one lap, then the pace car will pull in and we will get the green flag.
And that's when it all gets fun here. But I tell you what, Brett starting on the inside of Heat 1, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with tonight, I think, in this heat anyway.
Yeah, most definitely. As long as he can get the start, we can see that he's definitely running up high, trying to push Alan up as high as he can. And we get ready for the start. We are green. Very even start between Brett Wheeler and Alan Tacken as they go into turn 1. Brett tries to drive down low, then head up to that high line to get the drive out of turn 2. But Alan Tacken switches down low and tries to now do the same on Brett. But Brett gets the run around the outside, gets into the wall a little bit, but still gets some good drive. Brett Wheeler will lead your first lap here tonight at Eldora.
Yeah, fantastic driving there by Mr. Wheeler. I was a bit worried when I saw him in the wall, but Tacken is trying to take it to him at the moment. Then we have Stephen Watts in third at the moment. He's got Gavin Sadler on the inside of him as we see Tacken into the wall, and he bounces off it once more as they go through to complete another lap.
Ryan Parker and Gavin Sadler battling for your transfer spot there in 5th position, so we'll keep an eye on that battle for you, see who can get that last transfer spot. It's always important trying to get your night off to a good start by transferring directly into that A-main.
Yeah, and meanwhile out front here it's Mr. Wheeler. He is dominating this race. 4 out of 8 laps completed here, folks. Then we've got Alan Tacken second. What a gap back to Steve Watts in the number 5. He's coming under attack still by Gavin Sadler as the number 5 just floats up to the wall, just clears it, does not make contact.
Yeah, like we see most times in street stocks, Bernie, it does look like a single lane racetrack, so it's very hard to pass. Guys just following each other, trying to get the good run out of the corner, not to make a mistake and lose a spot backwards.
Yeah, we're riding on board at the moment with Ryan Parker in the number 54. You can just see how much they work the wheel in these street stocks as he just clips a wall once again.
Yeah, trying to run that high line, very thin line between a quick line and obviously being in that wall.
Yeah, we've seen it tonight, haven't we? A few drivers have found it hard to run that high line and they've found that wall. We can just hear another contact further back, but we've seen Mr. Wheeler tap it and he does it once again as he's searching that high line. But even though he's collecting that wall, he's still making good time.
Yeah, getting great drive out of this car. It looks as good as it did the first night in round 1. We are now on our last lap, so it looks like Brett will be taking this heat out with a commanding drive there from the start.
Yeah, and second at the moment is Alan Tacken. He should take second position. As we see now, Brett Wheeler coming through and take the checkered flag for Heat 1. Alan Tacken second. Stephen Watts comes home third. Fourth, Gavin Sadler. Fifth is Ryan Parker. Then we had George Fullerton, fifth and sixth. Rick Burt. Did I get that right or did I mess it up?
Nope, that was right. So your two non-transferees in that race were Ryan Parker and Rick Burt. We'll see them line up in the B main.
Yeah, now that the field is starting to line up, we can see them down there getting ready. I'm just going to adjust our volume a bit so we can hear these cars, at least around Eldora. They don't sound like those electric cars that we've heard at other tracks.
No, I think they've done a good job with the sound now. That was obviously a little bit of a glitch in the system, but they have managed to sort that out since the latest update, and the cars are sounding amazing on the outside now.
Certainly are, and as they roll out, we can just see them waiting now behind the pace car as they roll out. Sean, did you want to take the viewers through the grid?
Certainly, your heat number 2 grid for the... I forgot who the sponsor was, apologies, Bernie. Daniel Gow will be on pole for this second heat. Alongside him will be James Rice. Marcus Knitska will be in third position. Shane Davies will be out of fourth. Your fifth position is Zach Masters. Matthew Lawson will be out of sixth, and Shane Van Gisbergen from the rear in seventh position.
Yeah, and I don't think Shane posted a time during qualifying, so we'll see what he's got. But one person we need to keep an eye on in this heat, I would say, will be Zach Masters. Starting out of the third row, we'll see what he can do in 8 laps and if he can come through this field. Who do you think is going to be a big match for him out here in this heat?
Definitely Daniel Gow. From the front, he will look to see him go to the high line and pretty much run away with it like Brett did in the last heat.
Yeah, so here we go, green flag, heat 2, folks, at Eldora, and we can see now Daniel Gow gets a good start in the number 22. James Rice up high. We've got Marcus Knitska down low, 3 wide into the first corner.
Some good racing, everyone looking for that top line, but people realising that they're going to need to make their way through this field. So it's still 3 wide through 3 and 4 as James Rice takes the second position. Marcus Knitska is in third. Shane Van Gisbergen coming up, getting some drive through the middle of the track there, trying to get his way up from 7th, currently in 6th.
Zach Masters here running very, very low. He's trying to get that low line working. It's just not quite working at the moment. He's up to 4th position as he slots in front of the number 19, Shane Davies. Now he's working that higher line, and we'll see how he goes as a 19 gets into the number 97 and they continue on.
Yeah, he was definitely giving that low line a run, a couple of laps to see what he could do, but the drive in was good. He just couldn't get the same drive out, and the high line was just driving away from him.
Yeah, so at the moment, Gow is leading this race. He's getting a bit of a gap over James Rice in the number 20, sitting comfortably in second. Third, Marcus Knitska, but he's starting to come under pressure now from Zach Masters as they go by once more. Shane Davies, he's coming under pressure by Shane Van Gisbergen in 6th, and bringing up the rear is Matthew Lawson.
Yeah, Zach definitely looking around the racetrack to see what he can find. I'm sure he knows that he's in 4th position with that gap behind him. So he's looking at what he can do for later in the night to adjust that car to make a run up through the A main.
I'll tell you what, these cars are absolutely bulletproof. Look how hard they're clipping this wall. Absolutely no damage. I don't think they're even bending the bodywork on these things.
Nah, well, that's a good thing about the sedans, Bernie. They do have a little bit of protection with the fenders. I can definitely guarantee, as we get onto the night and we bring the midgets and the sprint cars out, they will not be getting away with hitting that outside wall.
No, exactly right. As we see now, Zach Masters searching down low once more. He's gone high, he's gone low. He's trying to get it working out there, still sitting in 4th position. And he's trying to take it to Marcus, but he just can't quite get on the back of him.
Yeah, this track looking a little bit too racy at the moment, a little bit hammered down as we call it, in one lane. So your race leader and finishing positions, actually, Daniel Gow will take out Heat 2 of your Down Under Graphics Street Stock Series. Second position is James Rice. Third, Marcus Kanitska. Fourth, Zach Masters. Fifth will be Shane Van Gisbergen making it into the A main. Shane Davies in sixth, and Matthew Lawson just missing out there in seventh.
So we see the field lining up for Heat 3 here, folks, and we'll take you through that grid very shortly. But tell you what, these cars are once again beautifully presented. I know it's not a beauty pageant, folks, but I do love a good paint job.
Yeah, most definitely, and also they present the cars for the spectators out there, so that obviously it looks like a real race meet. If we just had different coloured cars out there, it would be a little bit harder to follow your favourite driver. So it's a testament to the guys that put these skins together and put them on the car. Definitely doing it for the audience out there.
Yeah, so let's take you through Heat 3 here, folks. So starting on row 1 on the inside is Ryan Gorton. On the outside of him in the 25, Nathan Clark. Second row is John Schultz, our spotlight driver tonight, with Billy Ryan starting on the outside in the 33. Dave Douglas, he will be starting in the number 10 from the fourth row inside. Troy Smith on the outside of him. Bringing up the rear will be Lewis Clark.
The advantage of being in Heat 3 is you've been able to watch the last two heats, you know where everyone's running, and you know that you need to get your car there before the other person does.
They'll also be able to see where it's working and where it's not working as well, won't they? So they should be a bit more informed. But we're waiting now for the green flag. Pace car is in. Gorton will have control of this field. Green flag underway here at Eldora. 888 on the inside with Nathan Clark high on the outside at the moment. Getting a bit messy up the back there as a few cars find the wall.
Yeah, number 13 into the wall, just drifted down on the 22 there. We can see everyone trying to make that low line work, and it still just hasn't come in yet as we get a little bit of touch coming out of 4. That is Dave Douglas and Lewis Clark at the back there.
Yeah, and that started when Lewis came down the inside there, and he just started to slide up, but they bring up the back. Meanwhile, up the front, though, it's the Just Send It, or Still Gonna Send It team, the 888 leading the way with the 25 hunting him down. John Schultz in third. They're getting a bit of a gap now over the other three. Then we have, let's update this, Troy Smith, Lewis Clark, Dave Douglas, and then poor Billy Ryan, he's in the pits and his heat's done.
Yeah, just looking back on that, Billy looked like he got into the wall and came down and just got spun out there. So his race for heat number 3 is over. We'll probably see him in the B main.
Yeah, I'd say we will. And halfway through this heat, I'll tell you what, Nathan is trying to take it to Ryan at the moment. There's about 2 car lengths separating them, as now we can see Nathan just trying to search that middle line out.
And we can start to see the dust starting to come up on that high line now. So as they run that high line more and more and it gets more dusty, they'll start losing the drive up there, and we'll see them start to come down the track and start to pick up the moisture that where people haven't been running mid-track, and that's when we'll start to see 2 lines come into this racetrack.
Yeah, and that's when it starts getting interesting, that's for sure. But that this field is getting very spread out here, Sean, at the moment. And it's really looking like with 1 lap to go here, it's going to be Ryan Gorton that's going to run away with this. Yeah,
great drive from the front. Got the start, got up to that high line, and like the other 2 heats, has managed to hold on and take the heat win tonight. Followed Nathan Clark, our spotlight driver John Schultz in the 78, running third. That'll be a great drive for him. Troy Smith in 4th position. Lewis Clark will be 5th. Dave Douglas in 6th, and unfortunately Billy Ryan crashing out in that heat. Yeah,
I heard it. I didn't see it, but wow, fast action here as we see Ryan Gorton just do his little celebration there and jumping out of the car. His team's going to be extremely happy with that performance.
Yeah, most certainly, Bernie. So I've just got confirmation through. Our B main tonight will be 12 laps, and we will be taking 5 through to our A main feature, which will be 30 laps, presented by Down Under Graphics tonight.
Fantastic. So we've got 6 cars lining up for this. 5 go through.
It's always hard to be that one, so everybody will be pushing for those 5 spots, but obviously they know they don't want to crash and put an end to their night.
Yeah, exactly right. As the field comes out now for the B main of the street stocks, folks. So, Sean, you can take the viewers through the grid and we'll get ready to call the action.
Your B main grid for tonight. On pole position, we have Ryan Parker. In second position, we have Shane Davies. In third, we have Dave Douglas. Rick Burt will be your 4th position starter. In 5th position, we have Matthew Lawson and Billy Ryan starting out of 6th.
So we saw
to move up 1 spot.
Yeah, so he retired from the last one, crashed out. He's going to be wanting to just jump 1 spot to get into the A main, but I tell you what, it's not going to be that easy because out of these 6 drivers, 5 go through, 1 does not.
Yeah, definitely not going to be an easy run tonight in this B main, even though all but 1 go through. Don't think this doesn't mean anything to these guys. Making that A main means everything, so they will be racing very hard.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the 54 pace car is in, and Ryan Parker puts a foot down. Here we go, folks, for the B main. We have the 54 leading the way, the number 10 of Dave Douglas, going very, very low here, trying to get some momentum, but as we've found, there's not much down there. Bit of contact coming out, and that's the 33 into the wall once again, but coming through on lap 1, we have Ryan Parker in the 54 leading, Dave Douglas second, Shane Davies in the 19 on that high line third, 4th is Matthew Lawson.
Yeah, Dave Douglas trying to make that low line work there. He did get a good run out of 4, but just looks like coming out of 2, it's not as good a run. We see him try to get a run on that low line now on Shane Davies, and he does get it that lap. So let's see if that low line can come in and keep him in that 2nd position.
Yeah, 54 hard up into the wall. That's going to cost him a few positions as it actually sucks him in a bit. So we've got at the moment the 19, Davis, is leading this race. Dave Douglas is in 2nd, but here we go, almost 4 wide down the front straight.
It's getting close for these back positions, Bernie. We saw the leader there just get caught up into that wall coming out of turn number 2. Dropped a couple of positions, but he's now battling with Billy Ryan.
Yeah, Billy's having an awesome race this time as he goes very low down there, 3 wide, and he seems to be trying to make that work as he does a slide job up in front of the 54 there and gets away with it.
Some great racing. This is the best racing we've seen tonight, so this track's definitely coming in as we see Ryan Parker around the outside there trying to get the run on Dave Douglas.
Yeah, and looking back, the car on the bubble at the moment is Matthew Lawson in 5th. He looks fairly safe though, because Rick Burt in the 022 DNA Motorsports, he's dropped right off the back of this field. We are halfway through now. Battle heating up for the minor positions. Comes the 33 there. Down, he's making that low line work, isn't he? He's sliding up in front of the 19, checked him up, took that position, but Billy Ray, he's come from 6th tonight to lead this heat, and I tell you what, he's come from absolutely nowhere. Yeah, everybody in this A main will be looking at where he was running in that to come from the back of this B to now be leading it, so they will be looking at that to make sure that they can set their cars up to run those same lines. Yeah, well, he's got that low line working for him pretty well now, hasn't he? And it's definitely come in as we finish lap 8 here, as we ride with Shane Davies into turn 1. And tell you what, that 33 goes high, it goes low, and it just seems to be getting that momentum.
Yeah, he's definitely got this car set, so even being unfortunate in that heat race to not make it to the A, he's definitely cementing himself in the A in this B tonight.
Yeah, it's getting interesting further back. We've got Matthew Lawson now fighting it out with Ryan Parker in the number 54 as Ryan tries to get down low and tries to make up a position. But I tell you what, apart from the leader, the rest of the field are very tightly packed here.
Matthew Lawson got a great run there, just got a little bit squirrely down the straight, lost all his momentum. That put him back into that 5th position and our final transfer spot.
Yeah, so as they come through now to start the final lap here at Eldora, it's Billy Ryan leading. He's come from 6 folks to lead this race. Then we get the gaggle of cars. The first one through, Dave Douglas at the moment, but he's going to have to fight for second as he's got Shane Davies in the 19 on the inside as they come to the line.
Dave Douglas will hold on to second, Shane Davies 3rd, 4th position Ryan Parker, 5th Matthew Lawson, and unfortunately we won't be seeing Rick Burt anymore tonight, finishing in that 6th position outside the transfer spot.
Wow. So now
racing
folks,
in the middle there, Bernie, was some of the best racing we've seen tonight. That was amazing.
It was good racing, wasn't it? Really good racing. And we've got a few questions in the chat channel, and we'll definitely cover those off once we finish the A main here, folks. As you can tell, it's very fast-paced racing.
Yeah, heat racing does that. We definitely move through the heats very quickly. Let's run through your A main grid tonight. We will have 20 starters for your Down Under Graphics Street Stock Series tonight. On your pole position, we have Brett Wheeler in the number 2 car. Beside him will be Daniel Gow out of 2nd position. Ryan Gorton in 3rd and Alan Tacken in 4th position. 5th sees James Rice, 6th is Nathan Clark, 7th position is Stephen Watts, Marcus Knitska will be starting out of 8th position, 9th will be our spotlight driver John Schultz, a great start inside the top 10 there, and 10th position Gavin Sadler. Your feature winner from last night, doing it hard tonight, starting in 11th position, Troy Smith out of 12th, George Fullerton out of 13th, 14th will be Shane Van Gisbergen. Look for him to come through the field. 15th will be Lewis Clark. Billy Ryan, after winning the B main, will start in 16th. 17th, Dave Douglas. Shay Davies in 18th. Matthew Lawson in 19th. Matthew Norton in 20th. Apologies, he will be starting off the back row.
Yeah, so the question is, can Billy Ryan come through this field from 16th position? 30 laps to do it, but I tell you what, Brett Wheeler will have control of this. Daniel Gow will, with Brett Wheeler on the outside. No, they're swapping backwards and forwards. It's Brett Wheeler leads them off for the A main, folks, as they hit the medal, and we come through 30 laps here at Eldora.
Brett Wheeler down to the inside, then slides up onto that high line to get the drive out of 2, takes your lead out of 2. We have a bit of rubbing at the back there between the 21 and the 53 car. They get away with it, and in your 3rd position already is Zach Masters.
21 of Alan Tech nearly got turned around there by this 78 of John Schultz. It's getting messy back here. A couple of cars around. I think that was the unlucky 13, but we continue green here at Eldora, folks. Your leaders, Daniel Gow, Brett Wheeler, swapping positions up front. Then Ryan Gorton is in 3rd.
It is hectic at the back. We are 3 wide coming into turn 1. Everybody looking for real estate, and we have yellow on the racetrack.
Yeah, we've got the number 5 in the wall. That's what brought out that yellow, and the number 21 also around here. We'll try and the 21 looks like toast at the moment, and we'll just try and bring this up. That's Alan Tacken in trouble. He goes into the pits.
Yeah, such a shame for Alan there. It looked like he got squeezed up into the high line and the number 5 was trying to come around the outside. Unfortunately, Alan was the meat in that sandwich.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at the replay here, folks, see how it unfolded. Number 21, he got up into the wall there with the number 95, but Billy Ryan was the one that got into the side of the 21, and that's what upended him. It looks like that's going to be the end of Alan Tacken's night.
Yeah, such a shame for Alan. He had a great night up until that point. Just a little bit unfortunate, had nowhere to go and just turned that car around. Looks like it's done damage as he is back in pit lane.
And the number 5's also retired, folks. That is Stephen Watts, who was also involved in that hit. But we're just waiting for the field to settle down and grid up here for the restart. And we've got Daniel Gow in the number 22 and Brett Wheeler. Looks like Brett's going to be starting from the first position, the low line, and he'll have control of this race very shortly.
Yeah, quite interesting tonight. Looks like we are doing 2 wide starts, so this is going to get interesting.
For the fans out there, Shane Van Gisbergen, he's sitting in 8th. Billy Ryan in the number 33, he's up to 11th already. As we once again go at Eldora, we have Brett Wheeler on the high line, 888, Ryan Gorton trying to make that low line work. Almost 3 wide there. Then Daniel Gow in the number 22, back under yellow again. Let's hope these guys can get some momentum.
Yeah, it looks like the number 19, Shane Davis there, Bernie, just slow to get away. I think he just spun.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at the replay here and just see how this unfolded, and keep an eye on the number 19 here, folks. Yeah, he's just having a look. Oh, he's actually got turned around by the 13 there, and the 13 found the wall as well.
Lucky for some, definitely not lucky tonight. 13 looks like they will be out of the race. That is Troy Smith in that 13 car.
So another driver bites the dust, so to speak, here at Eldora. We are only on lap 9 of 30 of the A-Main final at the moment, folks. So Brett Wheeler currently will start from first. Once again, Daniel Gow on the outside, Ryan Gorton looking further down. Where's Billy Ryan? He's jumped 1 position up to 11th. Not bad considering they've only done half a lap.
Yeah, definitely good to see him starting to try and make his way through. Once we see some green flag laps, I'm sure he'll be able to move up a little bit quicker. So it looks like we will go green this time by. Pace car will pull in. Brett Wheeler is in control of the field on that inside line, looking to get that run and get that car up onto the high line. So before Daniel Gow gets up there and gets the run on him. Great jump off the line. Brett Wheeler first to the start finish line. Daniel Gow pulls in behind. Gets into the wall a little bit, but manages to keep it going. Ryan Gorton looks to pounce on that mistake. Just can't quite get the run out of turn 2. He moves back up to the top and pulls in behind. We will go yellow once again. Yeah, we've got Zach Masters, the favourite here on his roof, folks, on the back straight. That's going to put paid to his race. But I tell you what, we'll jump back to this replay because it got messy back here. Keep an eye on Masters in the 95. He got squeezed up on the high line there. So did the 78. But then as they came out of this turn, he got into Shane Van Gisbergen. But the number 10 and the 500 was also involved in that. So looking at those numbers and what do they mean, the number 10, that was Dave Douglas. He finds himself in a lot of trouble. That car is not going anywhere. And the 500 was George Fullerton. It really is the highs and lows of motorsports there, Bernie. So your feature winner last week in round number 2 finds himself with a DNF in round number 3.
Yeah, so looking at the cars that, or drivers that have retired out of this race, you can see the number 24, Matthew Lawson. They're going to put that car away. Zach Masters, the number 95's done. The 13 just behind him of Troy Smith's done. Alan Tacken in the 21 and the number 5 of Stephen Watts.
Panel beaters all around the country are licking their lips after this race. We have some damaged cars, Bernie.
This race has been action-packed, hasn't it? We're only halfway through and we've lost 6 of these cars. We'll see how they go now, but Billy Ryan, he's up to 10th. We'll see what he can do. I know I'm focusing on him, but he's come from nowhere the last in the B main, so I want to see what he can do in the A main.
Right up behind Shane there at the back. We are underway. Green on the racetrack again. We see Brett get that great drive on the low line. Just puts his nose up in front of Daniel Gow. Daniel Gow into the wall again, but manages to keep it going. Ryan Gorton again tries to get down the inside, but just doesn't have enough drive coming out of turn 2.
And up further behind there, we've got the 55 of Marcus Knitska. Then we've got Shane Van Gisbergen running the low line 3 wide. He's made a move up to 5th position now. Then we've got 78 of John Schultz taking him around the outside to snatch that position back. But look at John Schultz. Absolutely got some momentum running here as he then switches the low line, but he's got it around and into the tyres.
I guess we are going to call that the commentator's curse, Bernie.
We certainly are, and the yellow comes out once again. I tell you what, he had some absolute momentum going there until he found those inside barriers.
Yeah, most definitely. We saw him trying to get down low, drive in low, and then try and get the car back up high to get the drive out. He just didn't quite get the run in there low, drifted up. He saw him try to save it, but just couldn't get it down low enough there, and right rear quarter got hit and turned him around. Unfortunately, he is still in this race, but he will be starting off the back.
Let's quickly go through this field, folks, with 12 laps remaining. Brett Wheeler once again starting on the inside. Daniel Gow, 22 on the outside. Second row, Ryan Gorton, then Marcus Knitska in the 55. Shane Van Gisbergen in number 5 with Nathan Clark starting on the outside of him in the 25. Billy Ryan sitting in 7th in the 33. 8th is Gavin Sadler. 9th, Lewis Clark in the 18th. And rounding out your top 10 is the number 78 of John Schultz.
Very hard for these guys to try and get into any sort of rhythm when they're not doing consistent laps. So the guys up the front doing a great job. Brett just making sure he has to get every single start to make sure that he can get in front of Daniel before turn 1 and get that high line away.
Here we go, once again restarting at Eldora here, and hopefully let's hope they can get some momentum and get this racing underway. But at the moment, the 22 hard up into the fence there, he keeps it going though, and then we've got Knitska in the 55 right behind him, and the 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen.
Great drive around the outside there by Marcus Knitska. He put it up the inside of Shane Van Gisbergen, gave him a bit of a shoulder and said, "I'll check out, thank you very much."
Billy Ryan in the background there in the 33 finds the wall. Continuing, he just missed the back of the 18 there. Almost had another yellow, but we continue on. But now Daniel Gow is getting a bit of a gap, but Knitska and Ryan Gorton are going at it. And what's going on? Are we under yellow? No.
We're under yellow, Bernie, yes.
Are we? Oh.
We are.
I was getting excited up until they all started looking like they're going slow. Do we know who brought that one out?
Just having a quick look now.
It's not Dave Douglas, is it? No, he's retired. Number 5, he's coming back out. That Stephen Watts has rejoined the track, so the crew's got that riveted back together again, one could say.
Yeah, I can't see what caused that yellow, unfortunately. I think it might have been someone at the back there, just possibly spinning, but I couldn't see anyone moving slowly once that yellow came out.
So this must be what, our 5th yellow for this heat. Round about. We've got 7 laps remaining here. Let's hope it doesn't finish under yellow. I'd like to see him run to the end if we possibly can.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the run to the checkered flag now. Obviously the field is a little bit smaller, so they will spread out a little bit more, have a little bit more room to race, but when these guys go for it, they are not going to hold back, and that's what's causing these yellows.
Yeah, so we're waiting for the pace car to come in. It is now. Brett Wheeler puts the hammer down, racing once again here as they go 3 wide further behind them. That's Knitska, Ryan Gorton, and Shane Van Gisbergen does a slide job up in front of the 55 and with a bit of help makes that car step. The help was
Shane
the 55.
So returning the favour there on the 55. He gave him the shoulder before Shane gets his nose in front and says, I will have that spot straight back. We see him working that low line and trying to come up. He does the same on Ryan Gorton there to get the 3rd position. So Shane Van Gisbergen is on the move.
Certainly is, and he's now making that high line work. As we can see right behind him, the 888 of Gorton and Marcus Knitska 2 wide going through turn 1, I think it is once again. These two are battling, but at the moment Shane Van Gisbergen's got a big gap. Then it goes up to Daniel Gow in 2nd, and Brett Wheeler, he is taking this race home.
Very similar to what we saw in round 1. Brett running that high line. He gets into the wall there into turn 1, but manages to save it. Daniel Gow gets a little bit of a run, but then hits the wall on the outside of turn 2. Got a little bit eager. Saw Brett have that mistake and just got into the wall in turn 2. The gap is closing, but I think Daniel Gow is going to run out of laps here. We are on our final lap, Bernie.
Meanwhile, our spotlight driver, the number 78, he is taking it to Knitska now. He's going to run out of time though, but have a look at the front. We've got Wheeler and Gow going at it. Wheeler just gets it through, and he should, where are we? Final lap. 1 lap
to go. Daniel Gow right on the back of Brett Wheeler. He made a mistake through there and closed it up. He's going to look at the slide job, puts it in low, slides up the track. Brett comes around the outside, holds on to that. Daniel Gow couldn't quite get in front of him and manages 2nd. Shane Van Gisbergen will finish on the podium after starting 14th.
Fantastic drive there, wasn't it, by the 97? And I tell you what, he got beat up a bit earlier on, but he's, he remembers, and good drive there by Van Gisbergen to come home in 3rd. But your top 3 is Brett Wheeler takes the win, Daniel Gow 2nd, Shane Van Gisbergen 3rd. Our spotlight driver, John Schultz in the 78, he comes home in 6th position.
Yeah, great drive by John there. Had a bit of an ups and down. Went to the back of the field, drove back up to 6th. So he'll definitely be impressed with that drive for sure.
Yeah, so let's go through the full results here of the A main, and you can see where your favourite driver finished this evening.
So in 1st position we have Brett Wheeler. In 2nd we have Daniel Gow. In 3rd position we have Shane Van Gisbergen. In 4th position we have Ryan Gorton. In 5th Marcus Knitska. In 6th John Schultz. Lewis Clark will be in 7th. Position 8 is Gavin Sadler. James Rice in 9th, and in your top 10 is Shane Davies. Finishing in 11th is Ryan Parker. Nathan Clark will be in 12th. George Fullerton finishing in 13th. 14th position, Billy Ryan. Dave Douglas in 15th. 16th position is Matthew Lawson. Zach Masters, after winning last week, finds himself with a DNF in 17th position. Troy Smith, 18th. Alan Tacken, 19th. And, Steve Watts, 19th. Alan Tacken in 20th.
Fantastic, and that's your results, folks. And we'd like to also say good morning to George Gibbs. He always joins us, gets up very early over there in the United States to join us, and it's great to have you here once again, George.
Very committed to the Dirt Championship, getting up this early in the morning.
Oh, he loves his racing. It doesn't matter if it's dirt V8 supercars, Porsche. Doesn't matter. He's always there, which is fantastic. But what did you make of that racing?
Well, the green flags that we did get in that A main were great to watch. Definitely between Brett and Daniel there, watching Shane come through the field. We knew he was going to do it. Left his run late, but definitely got a hard charge at the end there. If he maybe had a few green wall laps, I definitely would see him in the mix with Brett and Daniel here tonight.
Yes, I'm just having a look in the green room. We have two there. I can see Daniel Gow, but I'm not sure if that second one up there is Brett Wheeler. Should we bring him down and we'll see exactly who those three dots mean?
That would be Brett Wheeler.
Okay,
let's bring him down for an interview. Brett, great win tonight. Definitely coming back from that disappointment in the second round to get the highest points here tonight.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to be back in victory lane. Last week we were one spot out of a podium, but we come back bigger and better this week, and it's nice to get a win. And hats off to Gow. He run me clean. He put a couple of sliders on me there, but I got to give him respect as well. He raced me clean.
Yeah, did you make a mistake to let him close up in those last two? I know when we looked it was a couple car lengths, and then we came back and all of a sudden he was on the back of you, which then allowed him to try that inside move and try to put the slide job through 3 and 4. Did you make a mistake there, or did he just find that much speed towards the end?
I think he found something sort of extra in those sort of last 4 laps or 2 laps, as you say, but I kind of looked down. I had about a half a second lead with probably a handful of laps to run. I thought, I'm expecting sort of him to come very shortly. But if I just kept sort of hitting the marks on the top, it was that cushion was very tough to run. Especially on entry. And he caught me. He was sort of the better driver in the last couple of laps. But I knew that slider was coming sort of in turn 3 and 4. I was going to pin it on the cushion, and whatever happens.
Yeah, we certainly saw a lot of people trying to run that high line, and that wall was definitely catching them out a fair few times. I know on that last corner, you drove it in there pretty hard and managed to get it up on the wall yourself there.
Yeah, that sort of from practice, I sort of went out there because over the last last week more in particular at Lima Lane, the cushion really didn't come in until probably the last 10 laps, but it was nice to have a cushion there, right from the get-go tonight, and as more races were on the track, that cushion was just getting bigger and bigger, and it was tough to hit. I don't think any of us, me, Gowie, Zach, Ryan, I don't think we had a car set up for that big of a cushion, but it was tough to run, especially in those last sort of 5 or 8 laps.
Yeah, most definitely you showed your skill once again in the street stock. Is there any sponsors you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, first off, you guys, RRTV for covering this one, Gavin Sadler and all the guys at the Australian Speedway League for putting these on and allowing us to come run. Personal sponsors, obviously BK Design with Bob King does a bit of work for me, Ultimate Dirt TV, Team VLR, and that's about it. And if I forgot anyone, sorry, but thanks.
Thanks for your time tonight, Brett, and congratulations on the clean sweep, taking out time trials, your heat, and the A main for the Down Under Graphics Street Stock Series.
Yeah, thanks, and one last thanks to Joel Berkeley from Down Under Graphics as well.
Thanks for that, Brett.
Fantastic. So that's your A-main winner, Brett Wheeler. We have one more interview to go, folks. The Dirt Midgets will be out next. They're out there warming up as we speak. So we'll have a quick chat with Daniel Gow. Then we'll go to a commercial break and we'll be back with the Race Merch Midgets. That's a handful, that.
Daniel, great drive tonight. Congratulations on the second place. You definitely looked like you had something for Brett there. Just that last slider on turn 3 and 4 couldn't quite get your rear in front of his nose, and he managed to just get the drive around.
Yeah, unfortunately, but we were racing with each other pretty cleanly, so there was no point. There was no real need to just throw it up there either. So like I looked in the mirror quickly and I was like, he's going to be there by the time I get there, so I'll just back off a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. Did Shane Van Gisbergen, once he got into that third, tend to worry you, or you just had your eyes forward focusing on Brett there?
Oh, I seen on the relative that Shane was catching both of us pretty quickly, but I looked at the laps and went, I don't think he's got enough laps to really be a worry. So I didn't worry too much about it and just concentrated on Brett.
It's always a good idea to keep the eyes forward rather than behind. I'm sure you've got some sponsors you'd like to thank.
Yeah, just all the guys at Synergy Sim Racing, Trackstar Racewear, and the Speedway Shop.
Thanks for your time tonight, and good luck for future rounds.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Daniel.
So that was Daniel Gow, folks, coming home second in the A-Main. Well, we know the midgets are out, so we'll go to a very quick break here on RRTV, folks. When we come back, we'll have the race merch midgets for you.
Of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, would it be Tim Holgate? It's going to be Christopher DeMerit at the line. Welcome back, folks, to the
going to get it wrong again. Australian Speedway League Speedway Championships round 3 from Eldora. We've seen how the street stocks did it. Now it's time to see how the race merch dirt midgets do it, Sean.
Yeah, most definitely. And we can see our sun is setting here for the night. Obviously, we are stepping it up a gear with the midgets, some higher horsepower than the street stocks. Obviously, you can hear that through the broadcast. These engines do scream really loud.
They certainly do, and just try to have a look at how many drivers we've got out there tonight. We've got quite a big field. 23 drivers will be taking to the grid. We can see Gavin Sadler, he backs it up in the 71. We saw in the street stocks earlier tonight, puts that away, jumps in. We've also got Shane Van Gisbergen out there once again, taking a crack at the midgets.
Yeah, good turnout tonight, 23 drivers. It should be some great racing. We will go through your format for the race merch midgets. We are just in practice at the moment, 4 minutes left to go in that, followed by our time trials. Each driver will get 3 laps. Fastest time will be your pole sitter. We then move into our heats. We will, again, like the street stocks, have 3 heats. Each heat will be 8 laps, and we will again take 5 finishes from the heats to the A main. We will then move to our B main final, and then followed up by our feature event tonight, the A main, 30 laps.
Yeah, and having a look at our point score here, folks, the dirt midgets are being led at the moment by Bob King, and he's not on track at the moment. I'll see if he is on track. I don't think he is, in the number 51. And he's leading the way on 300 points. Just behind him, though, is, what's that surname? Jordan Charge is in second, and he's on 290 points. Gavin Sadler in the number 71 is third on points, 286 points. Daniel Vassell, we'll see how he goes tonight, sitting in fourth on 266 points. Rounding out your top 5 point scorers is Mark Riordan on 260 points.
Yeah, Daniel Vassell having a great drive, especially being fourth in points there. He has had a great start to this season, and definitely looking to improve on his great starts and finishes in the midgets here tonight. And then we'll also be backing it up in the sprint cars later on.
That's exactly right, and he races sprint cars in the real world, and his sprint car in iracing is an exact replica of his paint job he does run each, Saturday nights up in Sydney.
Yeah, it does look like a great car on track. There's not a lot to it, but very smart, and definitely stands out on the racetrack.
Yeah, so while they're practicing here, folks, we've got a question here from Adam Reynolds, and he wants to know if we watch sprint cars in the real world.
Well, for me, most definitely. I am a Sydney-based person, so Valvoline Raceway is my home track, and I do try and get out there as much as I can, obviously to try and watch the guys from iRacing as well as everyone else out there.
Yeah, and as for me, I used to watch Speedway a lot as a kid. I was at the track every weekend here in Canberra, but unfortunately we've lost our Speedway here. So the closest one's Goulburn or Sydney. So I've sort of lost touch with the real world. Do watch it on TV on occasion and still enjoy it.
We're happy to have you up here anytime, Bernie. Just let us know when you're coming up.
So you can clear the decks, lock the doors.
Turn 1 bar, best place to be.
That's it. And of course, next week, folks, we'll have Clint Smith back calling all the action with Sean O'Hara. I'll be relegated back to the camera work. But I tell you what, it's been great racing here. What did you think of those street stocks tonight, Sean?
From the racing that we saw, it was fantastic. I mean, the guys definitely didn't hold anything back. They were definitely racing for points tonight. So it was great to see. The only downside, obviously, you would like to see some more green flag laps, but that is the problem in Speedway. because you're racing so close, things happen at such a high speed, and accidents obviously are unavoidable.
Yeah, that's just the nature of Speedway, especially when you've got big fields like that. And the second question Adam has asked is, do we know about the world of World Series sprint cars? I guess he's talking about World of Outlaws.
Well, there'd be two different ones. World Series Sprint Cars is our premier event here in Australia. World of Outlaws is the premier event in America. So, yes, I do know about them, and we do know about the World Series Sprint Cars here in Australia. Great series.
Yeah, well, iRacing's actually affiliated with the World of Outlaws sprint cars, haven't they? And they're actually racing that as an official competition now, sanctioned by the World of Outlaws. I think they also had a lot to do with the development of Speedway in the iRacing service.
Yeah, that's correct. We're definitely running the World Championship at the moment. The World of Outlaws is our main 410 Premier Series sponsor for our official races, so it's great to see them on board.
Certainly is, and we're just starting qualifying now. You can see Brett Junior Morris is out there. Terry Marwood is also out, and he's the first one to start laying down some laps around here.
Yeah, Terry Marwood, very quiet driver. He does get around and knows how to get up on the wheels, so we do see him up in that top 10 every now and then, so definitely an underrated driver. He likes to just fly under the flag and get his racing done, and he just loves being in the sim and in the cars.
Yes, as they come through, Lewis Hewitt snatches provisional pole, but now he's been ousted by Brett Junior Morris, setting a time 16.435 as the rest of the times come through. Scott Butler jumps up into third, Harry Edwards fourth, fifth is, well, Scott Butler fourth now, fifth is Harry Edwards.
This is what we call crazy time. Names are jumping over the leaderboard everywhere. Lachlan Smith jumps up to third there to put Scott Butler back to fourth. Harry Edwards now pushes everyone back. He is in third. Lewis Hewis moves back to second.
And here comes Danny Vassell to finish his first lap around here. Where does he slot in? Seventh position, already relegated down to ninth.
Joel Berkeley on his first lap puts it into fourth position. We'll wait and see how his second lap goes.
Yeah, he's running the high line there, and he's coming through on that second lap. We're just having a look. Bob King at the moment sitting in sixth position. James Robbie seventh. Daniel Vassell, well, he got up there momentarily. He's been pushed back down to 11th position as we see Joel Berkeley running that high line now. And where is he going to slot in? Fourth position by the looks of it, Sean.
Joel Berkeley will stay in fourth. Your top 10 separated just by 0.2 of a second. Absolutely amazing to see this field so close. And as we speak, Joel Berkeley actually on his third lap manages to put it onto pole, running a 16.416.
I'll tell you what, that high line looks very, very good at the moment, doesn't it? He ran that for all three laps to take provisional pole. Just having a look further of the drivers that we're waiting to see come out. I think Aaron Kelly is just coming out on the track now, or is he finished? I hope he's finished because he's doing some crazy stuff out there.
I think that was an aborted lap and a little bit of frustration just showing there.
Yeah.
So let's run through the field, Bernie. We've got 24 cars to get through. So on your pole position, we have Joel Berkeley. In second position, we have Brett Junior Morris. In third place, we have Lewis Hewitt. Fourth place, we have Harry Edwards. In fifth place, we have Jock Goodyear. Sixth place, Bob King. He'll be a bit disappointed down there. Seventh place, James Golden Boy Robbie. In eighth, we have Lachlan Smith. In ninth, Scott Butler. And in 10, as we said again, Gavin Sadler sneaking into that top 10 again. He's always thereabout. Brenton Davidson is in 11th. Daniel Vassell, after starting 7th, got pushed back to 12th in that qualifying session. Matt Matuchin in 13th. Bailey Clive in 14th. Peter Hannibal in 15th. I'll get this right. Geratz in position 16. 17, Mark Reardon. 18th will be Jason Brown. Sean Dennis in 19th position. Dale Jordison in 20th. 21st car for tonight will be Cody Morsk. 22nd, Terry Marwood. 23rd, Matt Reed, possibly having some trouble there. That's weird seeing the real-life racer down that low. 24th, Tammy Baston. 25th, even stranger to see Shane Van Gisbergen down the bottom there, not actually setting a time in qualifying. So we'll watch him come through the heats. And your 26th place tonight will be Aaron Kelly.
Yeah, and for the SVG fans out there, don't worry, he did not set a time in qualifying for the street stocks either, and got into the top 3 in the A main. So we're really just now waiting for the qualification timer to tick down here, folks, before we go racing. To tell you what, Sean, I've got to take a very quick pit stop, so tell them not to start. Oh, too late. All right, we're going to get into this.
Dirt unfortunately doesn't wait for anyone, Bernie, so we will get into our Heat 1 shortly. They are just rolling out onto the dummy grid now.
Yeah, I can just see them getting set up on that dummy grid, and I'm crossing my legs in anticipation, I tell you.
So we'll go through your Heat 1 grid for the race merch midgets for the Australian Speedway League Championship. Your pole sitter will be Joel Berkeley. Second position will be Harry Edwards. James Robbie in 3rd position. Gavin Sadler out of 4th. 5th position, Matt Machuchin. In 6th position, Brett Geratz. Sean Dennis will be starting out of 7th. 8th position, Terry Marwood. And off the back of this grid will be Aaron Kelly. And just a reminder to the fans out there, we will be taking 5 from this heat into the A main. The rest of the field will have to fight their way through the B main.
Yeah, and as you can see, folks, the sun is starting to set, and by the time we get to full night tonight, we will have the sprint WP concreting sprint cars out here to entertain you. That's later tonight, so don't go anywhere.
Great cars to finish the night on. The big 410s round at Eldora. Great sight to see. Don't be missing that for anything.
Yeah, definitely, and we're going to be racing here very, very shortly indeed. Keep an eye on Joel Berkeley on the inside. He will have control of this race, our pole setter in qualifying, and we'll see how it translates into Heat 1 here.
Yeah, Joel will be looking to get a good start off that middle line there. We are green on the racetrack. Joel gets to start off the inside. Harry Edwards around the outside trying to stay with him there. Gets a good run. Joel Berkeley will lead off at turn 2. Harry gets a good run out of turn 2 but can't go anywhere as Joel blocks his run. On the inside we have James Robbie looking down low. Gets a little bit crossed up, slows down coming out of turn 4. He will fall into 3rd position. 3 wide for your minor positions.
Yeah, so that's James Robbie down low, Matt Murchison right behind him, Brett Geratz in the number 42, also trying to make that low line work. Then up high we've got Gavin Sadler. He's going to take that high line and see if he can get that to work. But meanwhile, up front is Joel Berkeley. He's getting quite a good lead now over Harry Edwards, Matt Murchison, and here comes Brett Geratz.
Yeah, we can see 2 lines here at the moment. That middle of the track is just as quick, if not, actually might be a little bit slower, but it is still there. We see Gavin Sadler trying to make the middle of the track work as our front 4 are up on that high line.
Yeah, they're searching, aren't they? And that high line, it just seems to be the place to be. And as most of them go up there, just having a look at the 42 at the moment, that's Brett Geratz. Yep, that's him. He prefers that low line. It seems to be working for him, sitting in 4th position at the moment. He's holding off Gavin Sadler in the 71, who's now trying to take to that low line underneath him and snap that position away from him. 6 of 8 laps from done.
both those cars, Gavin and Brett, out of the GSR stable, so they are trading fast laps here. We see Brett go low, we see Gavin go low, and then switching positions. So great battle here for the transfer spot. Actually, this is 5th and 6th.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Harry Edwards, Matt Murchison, they're trading positions here as we come into the final lap. The first place will go to Joe Berkeley, but hold on to your hats, folks, because it's either Harry Edwards that's going to take this or Matt Murchison as they come through the final corner here, and it goes to Harry Edwards.
Yeah, great run by Matt there, just couldn't quite do it. The high line getting the better run. Harry managing to hold on for that second position. Your finishing order for Heat 1 sees Joel Berkeley take out your Race Merch Midgets Heat 1. Second position, Harry Edwards, closely followed by Matt Machuchin, Gavin Sadler in 4th, and your transferee, Brett Garatz, in 5th position. Terry Marwood just missing out. James Robbie, unfortunately having some issues there in that heat, finishing 7th. Sean Dennis in 8th, Aaron Kelly in 9th.
So looking at your field for Heat 2 here, folks, the number 4 of Brett Junior Morris, he will start from pole. On the outside, the number 77, Jock Goodyear, will start in second. Second row tonight, Lachlan Smith in the 9-11, and on the outside of him will be the 67 of Brayton Davison. Looking in the third row tonight, we will have Bailey Clive on the inside with Mark Riordan starting on the outside of him. Fourth row is Dale Jordison. He's joined by the number 46 of Matt Reed. And Shane Van Gisbergen in the number 9. He brings up the rear of the field.
Let's focus on that back row in this heat. We have Matt Reed, the real-life leader car driver from Valvoline Raceway. Alongside him, Shane Van Gisbergen. So look for those two to make their way through the field.
Yeah, definitely, and we can see them now lining up. Brett Junior Morris will get control of this field in the bright pink dirt midget here, the number 4. And here we go, Heat 2, we're underway.
Great start by Brett, straight up to the high line. We can see you down there. Sorry, I lost.
It's all right at the moment. We've got the number 4 leading, Jock Goodyear in the 77. Then Lachlan Smith in second position here at the moment. And yeah, now I've lost my way. Oh, we've got contact up the back, but don't worry, folks. Yellows do not come out for the heats.
Too wide. Coming into turn 3, we see Jock Goodyear and Lachlan Smith battling for that third position there at the moment.
Yeah, and that driver
has checked out.
That driver that's come unstuck up the back there is the number 46 of Matt Reed. He is out of this heat.
Commentator's curse once again. He'll be doing it hard from the B main. We are looking currently at the transfer spot here. Oh, Shane Van Gisbergen is now in the 5th position, looking to move his way up the field a little bit more, trying to work the middle of the racetrack there.
Yeah, he's searching low. It says here he's up to 3rd. He takes both of them there, but as he swings up high, the 9-11 of Lachlan Smith and the 67 of Braden Davison takes that position, but there's still 3 wide through here as we've got 6 of 8 laps complete.
The battle is on for 3rd, 4th and 5th. 3 drivers. Lachlan Smith gets a wheel and does a 360, manages to keep going, but he is down the order now in 7th position.
Yeah, meanwhile up front we have Brett Junior Morris leading this. Jack Goodyear's going with him as we go to the final lap. Shane Van Gisbergen, he is sitting in 3rd. 4th is Brayton Davison.
Jock showing great speed. That was 4 or 5 car lengths. He has turned that down to 2 car lengths now. I think he is going to run out of laps, but he did close that gap on Brett very quickly, so that will be interesting to see what he can do in the A main tonight.
Yeah, so your top 3 is Brett Junior Morris takes the win. Jock Goodyear 2nd, 3rd was Shane Van Gisbergen.
Some great racing there at the moment, Bernie. Track's looking very racy.
It's looking really good, isn't it? As the sun goes down, it's getting better, I think.
As we see that low line come in, we will see two lines starting to form, and we'll see the guys starting to search around as they wear that high line out.
Yeah, so looking at your grid 4, heat 3, folks, at 666, Lewis Hewitt. He will start from pole. On the outside of him is the 51 of Bob King. Second row tonight, 94, that's Scott Butler. He's joined on the grid by the number 97 of Daniel Vassell. God, I'm getting tongue-tied. In the third row is the 39, and that's Peter Honeybell. Then we've got Jason Brown in the number 24, starting on the outside of him. Then the final row tonight, we have Tammy Bastian in the number 6, and Cody Morosk starting on the outside.
Again, we will go 8 laps in this final heat for your race merch midgets tonight, part of your Australian Speedway League Championship nights. Pace car is bringing us around. We will see that pull into the pits this time around.
Yeah, I'll see what the drivers have for us in this one. We've got some big names out there. Daniel Vassell, Bob King, Lewis Hewitt and Scott Butler. We'll see how these 4 shake out, or if any of the people behind them can actually take it to them. But here we go, folks. Heat number 3 at Eldora Speedway of the Race Merch Midgets. Waiting for Lewis Hewitt to go. He will go on green. He's on his way now. Bob King on the outside. Nice clean start as they go into turn 1. We have Lewis Hewitt down low. Then we've got Bob King in the 51 up high as the rest of the field comes through. That's King.
Bob King into the back left rear of Lewis there. Loses a lot of positions, finds himself in a big hole in this heat race.
I tell you what, Sean, I don't know how he corrected that. I thought he was going to find the inside wall, but somehow he got that car straightened up and saved it. At the moment, the 666 Lewis Hewitt is leading. Daniel Vassell, well, you know, in the 97, he's a strong contender in the sprint cars. He's just as deadly in the midgets. Then we have Scott Butler bringing up third position. Big crash back here. Yeah, so having a look, Jason Brown and Tammy Bastian was involved in that. As she's parked it on now, she's got out of that car.
We do stay green, obviously no yellows in this heat race. Lewis Hewitt starting to search around. We saw him go from the high line back into the low line, back up to high around 1 and 2. Danny Vassell, great showing. That car look amazing tonight. It's got some great speed and is looking to put another good show in round 3 here tonight.
Yeah, and you saw on your screens there, folks, the number 51, Bob King, rolled after he ran into or had a coming together with Scott Butler in the 94. So a bit of an upset already in this heat, but Lewis Hewitt is running away with this with 2 laps remaining. Daniel Vassell, 97 second. 39 is Peter Honeybell. 4th is the number 22 of Cody Morosk. Then we have Scott Butler, and Bob King brings up in 6th position.
I think we're going to have an impromptu spotlight driver, Bob King, coming from the B main. He is definitely going to be one to watch.
Definitely will be, and as we come through now on the final lap, Lewis Hewitt in the 666 has been leading it, and I tell you what, he's a devil of a driver, isn't he?
Yeah, great show. Nobody even came close to him except Bob, unfortunately, getting into in the start there. And then he just put his head down and drove away from Danny Vassell in 2nd. We have Peter Honeybell in 3rd, Cody Morsk in 4th. Your final transfer spot will go to Scott Butler. Just missing out Jason Brown, as we said, Bob King, Tammy Baston and Matt Machuchin will be in the B main.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Bob King to see what he can do to rescue tonight after that run. But here we go, folks. So what are we up to? Is this B main now?
B main.
The B
we
main.
are into the B main. Just giving you an update, we will be taking only 5 cars. So unlike our street stock final where we only had 6 cars, we are going to have a lot more cars, and they are only battling for 5 positions.
You can see them now in the dummy grid over there getting ready to start. We'll go through that grid as they come out, but it looks like Terry Marwood will be on the front row inside. Dale Jordison in the number 27, front row outside. Looking at the second row, we have the number 41 of James Robbie, and where's Bob King? Is he in the second row? 51? They're a bit James Robbie, Jason Brown. Third row, Bob King, Lachlan Smith in the 911. Then we have Bailey Clive on the inside on the fourth row, and the number 44, Sean Dennis on the 00. And then the fifth row is Tammy Bastian in the number 6, Aaron Kelly in the number 17, and bringing up the rear is Matty Reid. So we'll see what Matt Reid can do here tonight. Can he actually get this car up to the A-main?
Tell you what, Bernie, the names in this B-main, I definitely don't want to be in this B-main trying to go for those 5 positions. Such a great lineup, even as deep in this B-main.
Oh, it's a huge lineup, isn't it? And some of these names, we would have expected them in the A-main, but tonight they are fighting to stay in it, and they're going to have to fight for the full 12 laps if they want to get into the feature race tonight.
Pace car pulls in out of turn 4. We see them getting very eager, spaced out. Green flag on the racetrack. Into turn 1, Terry takes us. He's on that middle line, trying to get the drive out of 2. Round the outside, we see Dale Jordison up into the fence.
Yeah, he went straight into the fence. He saved it, but he's dropped right to the back of this field. So at the moment, Terry Marwood leads. Then we've got the number 41, James Robbie. Number 51, Bob King, up to third. And that's where he's going to go now. He's up to second. Great move there. Jason Brown, fourth. Bailey Clive, fifth. Tammy Bastian sitting in sixth.
As you see there, Bob King definitely making short work of getting up to the front, challenging for second at the moment. I'm sure Terry will be next on his radar to try and get into that first position.
Yeah, and there's a car on its roof back in the field, but we'll stay with this race up front as we ride now with James Robbie in third. He's hunting down Bob King and Terry Marwood. Here comes Bob King on the outside, and Terry's taking the inside. I tell you what, Bob has turned Terry, I think.
Bit unfortunate, they just touched wheels on the straight there, but luckily Terry does manage to keep it going, stays in that third position, well inside the transfer, so now he just needs to concentrate, keep in that third position and focus on the A-main.
Yeah, so at the moment Matty Reid looks like he's come unstuck. He's down there in 11th position, so the luck is not going his way tonight. But meanwhile, Bob King, he's leading this race over James Robbie and then Terry Marwood. Bailey Clive fourth, fifth is Aaron Kelly.
Your field starting to spread out. The closest battle we have on the racetrack is 5th, 6th and 7th between Sean Dennis, Lachlan Smith and Aaron Kelly. Aaron Kelly currently holding your final transfer position here for your race merch midgets, but watch out for Lachlan starting to get that high line to work. I would expect him to start putting in a challenge in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, he's getting down on that low line now. Kelly on the high line, Lachlan on the low line. Doesn't quite have the momentum yet, but he is closing. Here he comes. Lachlan Smith takes that position, and is that a slide job? Is that what we call that?
That wasn't quite a slide job. That was actually quite smart. He knew the crossover was coming. He kept it low. He stopped all the momentum of Aaron, but then Aaron managed to see it coming as well. Went back up to the high line. They are transferring positions back and forth here at the moment. Lachlan Smith back to the high line, try and gets the run. Aaron tries to put the slide on him, but he's not up there close enough, has to back out.
So at the moment, folks, these two are on the bubble. We've got Lachlan Smith, Aaron Kelly on the inside. We have two more laps to run here, but at the moment, Lachlan Smith has taken that position. Can the 17, though, come back?
Aaron Kelly. Just looks like he overdrove it a little bit there. That will put Lachlan into your A main for tonight as they come across the start-finish line. So your transferees from the B main will be Bob King in first position, James Robbie, great drive, in second, Bailey Clive in third, Lachlan Smith in fourth, and Aaron Kelly in fifth.
Fantastic. Well, they're your transferees for the A main. They don't get much time though, do they? They'll probably throw some water on themselves and they'll be back into it.
Yeah, straight into it. They'll relay the changes they want really quickly to the team. The guys from the B main won't even get out of their cars. They'll just tell the crew members what they need to change because we are already on the dummy grid waiting for our A main.
Yeah, and this is when the cautions will take effect, folks, for the A main. 30 laps around here tonight, and hopefully we're not going to see as many cautions as we did in the street stocks.
Again, we have a 20-car field, so we will run through your starting order for your race merch midgets. Round number 3 of the Australian Speedway League Championship night. On your pole position, we have Joel Berkeley. Second, beside him, Brett Morris. Lewis Hewitt will start out of third position, and in fourth place, we have Harry Edwards. Jock Goodyear will be starting out of fifth. Danny Vassell, great start for him, inside the top 10 again in sixth position. Matt Matuchin in 7th. Shane Van Gisbergen will be starting out of 8th, a little bit higher than he started in the street stock final. 9th position sees Peter Hannibal, and again top 10 for Gavin Sadler. Brenton Davison starting out of 11th. Cody Morse, starting out of 12th. Brett Garatz out of position 13. Position 14 sees Mark Reardon. Scott Butler will be out of 15. 16th position is Bob King. Watch for him to come through. 17th, James Robbie. Bailey Clive out of 18th. And your final 2 transfers from the B, Lachlan Smith and Aaron Kelly.
Here we go again, folks. I've got to get used to this. It's very fast-paced, isn't it?
We don't stop in dirt. It's race after race. It's good fun.
Yeah, so here we go. Joel Berkeley in the number 14 has control. Here we go, folks. Number 4, Brett Junior Morris, goes up high, but at the moment that low line has definitely worked for Joel Berkeley.
Brett Morris down on the inside, slides up onto the high line. Joel sees it coming, goes back down on the inside, can't quite get the drive out of turn 4. Tries to go low, slides back up in front of Brett. Brett sees it again, goes underneath, takes the front off of Joel. Joel has to lift, and Brett is your leader.
Yeah, then looking further back, we've got Harry Edwards in the number 66. He's going at it with the 666 of Lewis as the yellow comes out.
Yellow flag for Cody Morsk there.
Yeah, he's on his roof. We'll go back and have a look at Cody and just see how that unravelled.
Just having a quick look here, Bernie. It looks like Cody did that all on himself. Just got a little bit loose. Got up into turn wall. Not sure what happened with Lachlan there. He's come in after and hit the upturn Cody Morsk there.
Yeah, we'll go back and have a look at this replay and pretty much see how it unfolded. Yeah, there's a bit of contact behind him as well. So I think the other one brought out the yellow, and then Cody went up on his side.
Definitely very frantic in the start of this A main feature. Joel just giving Brett a little bit of a rub there, just letting him know that he is there. I'm sure Brett knows it.
Yeah, single file restart here And away we'll go once more. Pace car in. Brett Morris puts a foot down. Away we go once more at Eldora. So we've got Brett Jr., Morris leading the way. Joel Berkeley second. Harry Edwards third. Jock Goodyear fighting for that third position. And then we've got the 666 of Lewis Hewitt.
Jock Goodyear trying to push Harry up into the wall. They've crashed on the main straight. No room given there at all. That will be one for the officials to have a look at.
Certainly will be. And Jock Goodyear on his roof. He gets out of the car. Fortunately, it's sim racing, so he does not get injured. But let's have a look at how this happened.
Jock gets a good run out of turn 4, slides up a little bit high, and I think it's just a matter of Harry turning in at the same time. Jock was still coming up to the wall.
Yeah, I sort of saw a Jock sliding up there, which and got him into that other driver. But then again, it's Speedway. We could call it two different ways, couldn't we?
Most definitely. If you ask either driver, it was definitely the other driver's fault. It's always going to be that way.
Certainly is. 9 laps of 30. Here are your top 5 as we're waiting for the pace car to sort the field. Brett Jr. Morris in the number 4. Then we have Joel Berkeley in the 14. Third is Harry Edwards in the 66. Then Lewis Hewitt in the 666. And the number 9, Shane Van Gisbergen. He's worked his way up to 5th position.
Yeah, great drive by Shane there, starting in 9th, so he's definitely put himself in this. If we can get some green flag laps, don't count him out. Definitely looking for him to go to the front.
Yeah, and for the fans of the 51, Bob King is up into 10th position at the moment. Right behind him, Gavin Sadler in the number 71 will start out of 11th.
This lap will see the pace car pull in off of turn 4, looking for Brett to get another good jump, and away he goes. Great start again by Brett. Joel trying to follow him, but can't quite get there. Up in high line, both Brett and Joel run. Harry Edwards in 3rd, Lewis Hewitt in 4th. Shane still in that 5th position.
Yeah, Shane was hunting down low, but now he's decided to go back up high as they come through once more to complete lap 11 here at Eldora. Brett Jr. Morris is leading the way, but Joel Berkeley is taking the fight to him now. You can see just behind them Lewis Hewitt, Harry Edwards and Shane Van Gisbergen continue to battle.
3 wide coming out of turn 4. Got very close there between Lewis, Shane and Harry. They managed to keep it straight, and Shane is in your 3rd position now.
Yeah, we're currently riding here with Joel Berkeley just to show you how hard these boys work. As he starts to range up on the back of the number 4, he's going to go down low.
Great slide job by Joel.
Yeah, and meanwhile, while they battle, as you said, Shane Van Gisbergen, he is starting to close that gap.
These two are going to have to be careful now. This slide. Oh, Brett gets into the side of Joel, has half a spin, manages to keep it going, but here comes Shane. He will look to move to the inside of Brett. Brett needs to recover now and just try and focus getting back onto Joel. So that's where we saw the slide job go wrong there.
Yeah, and this is also bringing Matt Murchison back into this battle, as we can see him just hanging off the pack of 3 here. But meanwhile, it is still Joel Berkeley leading as we are under yellow once more. Was that Jock? No, Jock Goodyear was already out. I wonder if Aaron Kelly brought that one out.
Just looking at 3 cars involved. Mark Reardon was involved in that, car number 13.
Oh yeah, we just caught the end of that. He's just trying to work out who he's run into. Let's try and get a different angle on this if we can.
So it looks like Brett Garatz and Gavin Sadler, the teammates, got into each other, and they were sitting in the middle of the track as Mark came around. got into the back of Gavin Sadler.
Yeah, Gavin was around, wasn't he? Nowhere to go there for Mark Reardon, and hopefully the car's not too badly damaged. It can continue on.
So Brett there, getting into the team manager, definitely not something you want to be doing every week.
Hate to be in the debrief tonight, but I know what Gavin would say. He'd say that's what Dirt Speedway is like, and it goes with the game. So looking at the restart, folks, Joel Berkeley will lead the number 4 of Brett Junior Morris. Can Brett come back at him? I'm sure he'll try. Number in second row will be Shane Van Gisbergen and Matt Murchison. Third row, Harry Edwards and Lewis Hewitt.
10 laps to go, Bernie. Let's see if we can stay green till the end.
Yeah, so the pace car will be in very shortly. Here he goes. Joel Berkeley puts a foot down. We are underway again. Berkeley, Morris, Gisbergen. That's your top 3 as we go through.
Brett with a little bit of slow start there. It's definitely given SVG a chance to pull the slide job. Gets the job done up into that high line. Tries to get the drive, but Brett, some great drive down on the inside. We have gone yellow once again.
Yeah, it looks like Mark Reardon's bringing that car into the pits, so we'll have a look at what has caused this. So yeah, Mark's just basically didn't get going. I think that might have been what did it.
Yeah, I think he still had damage from that contact with Gavin Sadler. Obviously, under pace laps, you think the car is obviously still fine, but as soon as you jump on that loud pedal, you quickly realise that you have more damage than you thought.
Yeah, the other one could have been Bob King. I did see one out on its roof, and it did definitely look like it could have been Bob King's car. He is in the pits. So it looks like we've lost Bob King. Is Gavin Sadler, he's in the pits. He's out tonight. Jock Goodyear's gone. Lachlan Smith, Cody Morosk, and Mark Reardon. Peter Hannibal's also retired, and Brett Gerards. So we're down to 12.
This will shake the championship up, Bernie. Your championship leader will have a DNF for the night. We know Joel Berkeley was extremely close, so that's going to definitely change your championship order after this race.
Yeah, so once again, we've got 5 laps remaining here, folks. Let's hope we go to green all the way through. 12 remain of the 20 starters here. It's been quite a punishing A-main, that's for sure.
Definitely a war of nutrition so far tonight. Let's see if we can just get these last 5 laps completed. Your pace car will pull in out of turn 4, and Joel takes them away. Shane tries to get the run on the inside of Brett. Pulls to the inside, slides up, doesn't quite do it, does do it. Brett gets into the wall, which manages to let Shane pull in front, and now Shane is after Joel.
Yeah, and Matt Murchison was right on the inside there. They come together, they continue going. We are back under yellow.
That's unfortunate. That will end our night under yellow here. Won't be enough caution laps to go green again.
Looks like Scott Butler brought that out. We'll go back and see if we can see exactly what happened here. Might have been Brayton and Scott coming together here. Oh no, there's actually someone in front of him that came unstuck there. I'm just trying to get a number. Yeah, it was Brayton Davison went around.
Yeah, he just found himself caught in that slick with nowhere to go. He got it all crossed up, slowed it down, and unfortunately the car behind had nowhere to go. Just clipped him in the rear and finished him off completely. Does a 360 and keeps going.
Have a look at Brayton's car. It's Bailey Clive I'm looking at. In the, just having a look at him. That car, the 67, doesn't look right. Brayton Davison. Looks like he's got a lot of rear suspension damage on that car.
Yeah, having a look at that spin, I think he did catch the inside wall, so it would have done some damage to the rear end of that midget. Obviously not as reliable as the street stocks. They do not take a lot of punishment. It only takes a minor rub to put these cars out of alignment.
29 of 30. Here we go. Pace car in. It's going to be a race to the checkered as Joel Berkeley leads. Shane Van Gisbergen into the first corner. Brett Junior Morris is up there. We've got that's Gisbergen around. He is out. So it comes down to Berkeley, Morris. Where is Gisbergen did spin.
Yeah, falling down the pack. And that is your race. Joel Berkeley managed to hold on to first position, followed by Brett Morris, and your podium finisher, Matt Matusian, hanging in there to put it on the podium. Great finish by Matt.
I'll tell you what, folks, you can tell it's a simulation when they finish the race and all put them into the wall. If they did that in real world, they would be paying a very hefty bill, that's for sure.
Yeah, it would definitely be costing them a fair bit of money to put them in the wall at such high speed.
Exactly right. So let's go through the final results here of the Race Merch Midgets, folks. And the win goes to Joel Berkeley in the number 14. Second, the number 4, Brett Junior Morris. Third, Matt McCutcheon. Harry Edwards, 4th. 5th, Lewis Hewitt in the 666. Daniel Vassell comes home in 6th. 7th, Bailey Clive. 8th, Brayton Davison. 9th, James Robbie. Scott Butler, 10th. 11th, Shane Van Gisbergen. Brett Geretz comes home in 13th. 14th is Aaron Kelly, followed by Bob King. 16th, Peter Hunnebel, Mark Riordan, and Gavin Sadler comes home in the number 71 in 17th position. Jock Goodyear in 18th. 19th was Lachlan Smith, and Cody Morosk rounds out our field of 20. Wow, that was...
Came in, Bernie. That was some great racing, some great slide jobs happening there. We saw them getting the drive down into the low line and then sliding up into the high line to get that run. It's just some great slide jobs there in that race.
It certainly was, and I tell you what, we have our Race Merch Midgets winner in the green room. I'll bring him down and we'll have a bit of a chat.
Thanks for joining us, Joel. Bit of a battle there between you and Brett. Definitely no love lost there.
No, Brett's a great driver races. It was good battle and free. He'll race him clean. I'll race him clean.
Yeah, we saw him try and pull that slider and get into the inside of you. Just couldn't quite get up there. Did that do any damage to your car, or was that okay after that?
No, that was okay. It was just... Our track was really tough out there. It was just a matter of... It felt slick, but it wasn't really that slick on the top, and yeah, the middle to the bottom was completely gripped up still. And yeah, when you pull a slider, you got a lot of grip, and yeah, it just sends the car off the track. I had that happen to me once when I tried passing Brett, and yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lot of over-unders, so the people pulling slide jobs were able to get the slide job done going into the corner. However, on the crisscross, they were getting so much drive coming out of the middle of the racetrack that it wasn't actually paying off, and they were getting the run back down on the inside. So it was great to watch from the commentary booth. I'm sure it was great fun sitting in the car as well.
Yeah, it was great fun on that track. I got nervous on that last restart with Shane behind me. I was like, oh no, what's going to happen here? But yeah, Shane always raced you clean, but Shane's faster than anything he steps in.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there for him to spin, but you definitely did a great job to hold him off. That restart was great, even though you were nervous. I'm sure there are people you would like to thank tonight.
Yeah, massive thanks to the boys at TTL Esports, Ashmead Speedway Footage down to Graphics, Hyper Stimulate, you guys for broadcasting, Gavin for hosting, and everyone else that helped out.
Thanks for your time tonight, Joel. We'll let you get over to the sprint cars, and we'll see you in the next race.
No worries.
Thank you.
Fantastic, and we're about to go for a very quick break here, folks, on RRTV. When we come back, we'll have the WP Concreting sprint cars coming your way. Welcome back, folks, to the ongoing coverage of tonight's Speedway action coming to you from Eldora. Sun's gone down here, Sean, so that can only mean one thing.
Yeah, that's right. It is 4:10 time, your premier event for the night, your WP concreting, sprint car 410 race of the night.
We've got a massive field out here once again, folks. Of the 410s, we're looking at around about 27 drivers on the track this evening.
I spoke to the event organiser before we started tonight. He has opened this server up to a maximum of 50 people, so we may not quite hit that mark, but we have 27 in the server at the moment, so it's a great showing here for the 410 sprint cars.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you just can hear them roar as they come out, and I'm having trouble speaking over the top of them.
Yeah, the volume definitely goes up a notch when the 410s come out on track. I'm not sure if that's just excitement or us trying to talk over the engine. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I'm going to put it to the viewers. In our chat channel, they can tell us if they're too loud and we can turn down the volume. I'd say they'll probably say crank it up. But having a look out here and just having a look to see if John Schultz is on the track at the moment. He's our spotlight driver and can't see him if he is. I'm not sure if he's out there. Oh, there he is. He's just coming out now.
Yeah, so he had the break in between not running the midgets, so he ran our street stocks, had a little bit of a break, and now he is out in his 410 sprint car for North Brisbane slots, running out of the Filthy Minds racing team.
Yeah, and having a look at some of the achievements he's made in sim racing, folks. First in Split in the 2018 Raw before 24 at Daytona, and he got second in his Split for the 2017 V8 Supercar 1000 at Bathurst. So he's got a lot of experience behind him. As far as his bio goes, he's been into sim racing for about 10 years doing V8 Supercars, some dirt on the R Factor side of things, and then he moved on to RF2 doing the road racing side. He then moved into iRacing in 2017 once dirt became available, and now he focuses mainly on the dirt speedway. His favourite sim car, the 410 sprint cars. The favourite real life cars are 410 sprint cars. Favourite sim track, Bathurst. Favourite real track is Knoxville.
Two of the greatest tracks. They're definitely some of my favourites. Bathurst, obviously, being so close to home, it's one of the premier tracks for myself. And Knoxville, as I was explaining to Clint, managed to get over there last year for my first time at the actual Knoxville, for the Knoxville Nationals.
Fantastic. That must have been a heck of an experience.
It's something you can't even explain. I mean, you have to go and do it. If you're a Speedway fan, it must be on the bucket list, and you definitely have to get over there and do it. Just the atmosphere, the people, it was just an amazing weekend.
Yeah, so tell you what, before we get into qualifying, I'm just going to take a very quick pit stop. I don't think I can last till the end.
So as Bernie does that, I will run through our format for tonight. So this will depend on how many more we get. Currently with 27 cars, we won't run the full 5 heats, but we will definitely get to 4 heats. So our qualifying will be 2 laps tonight for your 410s. We will then have heat 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 if we can fill them. Each of those heats will be 8 laps, and now it gets serious. We will only be taking the top 3 from each of those heats. Moving into our mains, we will see a C main, which will see 15 laps around Eldora. Our B main will be 20 laps. And then tonight for the 410s, just to give the guys a bit of a break between the B main and the A main, we will have a short 5-minute warm-up before we move into our feature event, the 30-lap A main for the 410s, sponsored by WP Concreting.
Yeah, and if you like your racing, folks, looking at the week ahead, tomorrow night we have the NASCAR Xfinity Series coming on RRTV, and then Friday night we have the Porsche Carrera Cup coming your way. Saturday night, a double header. We have the Racing League's GT3 Series first, and that's backed up later in the evening by the SRA GT3 Series.
Just having a look at quick times. Tim Ryan at the moment sits with your fastest time with a 13.315. Bob King close behind him, 13.329. And Joel Berkeley in third, 13.331. As you can see, Bernie, obviously the names towards the top are the same guys again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And cream gets to the top, as they say. But we're seeing Dylan Sharman out here in the number 91, sitting fourth at the moment, coming out to put a few more laps in. Jock Goodyer in the number 77's also out there. Looking further down the field, SVG fans, he's out here again in his beautifully presented bright green and red and blue sprint car. That's Shane Van Gisbergen sitting ninth in practice. Looking further down, James Robbie 11th. Billy Ryan in the number 33. We saw him racing earlier this evening. He's back out there in the sprint cars, sitting 15th in practice.
So just looking through our names, noticeably missing is Jordan Charge. Wondering if real life commitments have kept him away from this server. Obviously running the V60 sprint car in real life.
The other one, no, he's out there. Danny Vassell is out there in his beautifully presented 97, and that is an exact replica of his real-world sprint car as far as the paint job goes. He doesn't actually race a 410 in real life, but he is here tonight.
Yeah, great to see that you can bring your real car and put it into the sim. So great looking paint job there. It does look good. I have seen it running around Valvoline Raceway. So great job by Danny to obviously get the real car up to that sort of presentation and then as well bring it into the sim.
Yeah, definitely, and I've got to get up there and have a look at it because he's carrying the RRTV logo on his real world car, and I need to get some photos of it.
Don't forget to get his autographed while you're up here. I'm sure he'll be happy to have a fanboy like yourself, Bernie.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
So we have 2 minutes of practice. Event organizer has said that at the 15-minute mark he will advance the session and we will go time trialling.
You can see the 57 there. That is Anthony Bland, 22nd fastest in practice. We'll see what he does in the time trials, but another beautifully presented sprint car, that's for sure. Gavin Sadler in the number 71. He's also in the pits, and he's sitting in 21st in practice.
Yeah, that will definitely be a little bit low than when he wants to time trial. Definitely with only taking 3, I'm not sure if you missed that, Bernie, while you were away, we will only be taking 3 from each of the heats. So time trialling is very important now in these 410 sprint cars.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can't afford to blink tonight here in the sprint cars, that's for sure. We have 28 drivers on the server tonight, folks. We will be going time trialling very, very shortly. Then we'll see who's in a good position and who's in a not so much good position.
As you can see, the sun has gone down, so that will affect the track. We expect to see it burn off and get that really slick black line up high, which is then going to make the drivers either really commit to that wall or try and find something down low.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how the track holds up as well. Like last week, I think we saw ruts starting to come in on the circuit, didn't we?
Yeah, ruts are a big thing now that they've brought out the new releases. It's definitely added a different element to racing these 410s. When they do hit a bump, they do get unsettled and you need to be right on your game.
Certainly do, and I'm just having a look at Jock Goodyear out here. He was flashing in and out a little bit, but hopefully he'll get that connection sorted and it won't affect his running here tonight.
Yeah, it always puts you off a little bit when things aren't correct in the car and you've got things sort of flashing on your dashboard. So hopefully the crew can have a quick look at that and get that sorted before he goes time trialing. You don't want any distractions in these next 2 laps.
Exactly right, and we're just having a look out here now. Can see them starting to come out on the time trialling. Just going to update my timing screen and we'll see who rises to the top. So you can see on screen at the moment is Brett Garitas there in the number 42. He's one of the first drivers out there. He should be starting his fast lap very shortly. Just going to turn down that sound. I can't even hear myself think. But Bob King goes to the top with the 13.691. Daniel Gow second, Dylan Sharman third, Brett Garitas fourth, Aaron King fifth, sixth, Lewis Clark, and Jock Goodyear now jumps to the top.
Once again, we have names jumping all over the screen. This really is crazy time when people are putting down their first laps. Times are falling by the looks of it at the moment. Jock Goodyear is your leader at the moment with a 13.656. As I speak, Joel Berkeley to the top, your quick time with 13.638.
Bob King's back out there again. He's taken the car in, made some adjustments. He's coming out to see if he can do better than third as he starts his run in the number 51.
Definitely going to be hard for Bob with just 1 lap, but we know if anyone can do it, Bob can do it. He's on track at the moment.
Yeah, he found the wall, so that's his run done. Gavin Sadler, he's also back in the pits, 7th fastest for him. We have Billy Ryan, he's just finished. He's down there in, a long way down. And Tim Ryan, I wonder if they're related, in the number 98, currently outside of the top 21.
Watch for Tim Ryan's lap this time. Expect him to go up the order. He puts himself into 5th. 1 more lap to go. Your quick time from practice. Expect to see something out of this car. Can he do it? Crosses the finish line. Stays in 5th position with a 13.724. So improved on his first time, but couldn't get any better than 5th. So that ends our time trial session, Bernie.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the full results here, folks, so you can see where your favourite driver has been ranked here in the time trial. So Joel Berkeley takes provisional pole with the 13.639. Jock Goodyear second in the number 77. The 51 of Bob King third. Daniel Gow fourth. 5th, Tim Ryan. 6th, Lewis Hewitt. 7th, Dylan Sharman. Gavin Sadler, he sits in 8th. Brett Garitas 9th. 10th, Danny Vassell. 11th is Cody Morosk. 12th, Aaron Kelly. 13th, John Schultz. Lewis Clark, 14th. 15th, Ryan E.B. Harris. Scott Butler, 16th. 17th, Terry Marwood. 18th, Tammy Bastian. 19th, Anthony Bland. Marcus Kunitska in 20th. George Fullerton, 21st. 22nd, Matt Reed. Drivers yet to set a time is James Robbie, Billy Ryan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Dale Jordison, Stephen Watts and Lachlan Smith. James Robbie's out there at the moment, I think.
Sorry, Bernie, just having issues with your microphone and hearing you there. I'm not sure if our audience is having that same issue, but thanks for reading off that grid for us. We saw James Robbie taking a late time there and managing to slot into position. Let me just check that for everybody at home. 15th position for the late run of James Robbie.
Fantastic. Have you got me now?
That's much better.
Yeah, the computer was having a bit of a fit, I think. Just restarting our overlays here, folks. It tends to cause some issues at times.
You were definitely robotic.
Oh, okay. I thought I sounded great, but
Let's go through your Heat 1 grid here. So while Bernie sorts out those overlays for you, Joel Berkeley will be starting off your pole position for Heat 1. Second place will be Daniel Gow. Dylan Sharman will be third. Fourth position will be Daniel Vassell. John Schultz, our spotlight driver, another great show there, starting out of fifth position. Sixth place will be Ryan Harris. Tammy Baston out of seventh. Eighth will be George Fullerton. Ninth, Shane Van Gisbergen. And 10th, Dale Jordison.
So a great lineup here at Eldora for Heat 1, folks. And tell you what, Joel Berkeley starting from pole. See if what Daniel Gow and Dylan Sharman can take to him. Danny Vassell also, keep an eye on him.
Yeah, definitely having a great run in this ASL series. We saw him in the midgets having a good run, and now again starting out of fourth position here in Heat 1. So watch for Danny to try and move up and get to that transfer spot. It will be 3 transferred, and we have 3 heats, Bernie.
Yeah, it's absolutely cutthroat here tonight. And one touch and they're going to be out of that top 3, but waiting for now the pace car to come in. And Daniel Gow should... No, I'm confused. Here we go.
Joel Berkeley off the front row. Daniel Gow is second. Daniel to the top line. Joel goes down to that low line to slide up to the high line. Gets the run out of turn 2. Daniel Gow looking to go around the outside. Can't quite get the car. Oh, who is that? That is Dylan Sharman. Comes up and puts his right rear into the side of Daniel Gow. They both manage to continue. Danny Vassell moves into second up to Daniel Gow. Hits the wall. Dylan Sharman looking racy on the inside, gets into Dan Vassell, has half a spin. Joel Berkeley, your leader, and walking away at the moment.
Yeah, and second is Daniel Vassell at the moment. Ryan E.B. Harris is right on the bubble in third. Tammy Bastion, though, I'll tell you what, she's taking it to him, and so is Dale Jordison. It's a race to the finish here to find out who's going to take that crucial third spot.
Definitely no give or take in this one. It is all take. It is cutthroat at the moment with only those 3 spots up for grabs.
While these 3 are battling it, they've allowed Ryan Harris to run away in third. Tammy Bastion, she's trying to take it to him in fourth in the number 23, but they're having problems with Daniel Gow. He's now coming through, as we can see. Who's that up in the wall? The number 12, that was Ryan Harris.
Oh, Daniel Gow around the outside there. Manages to keep it going up into second place now. Daniel, great recovery for him.
Yeah, so coming into the final lap here, we've got Joel Berkeley's run away with this. Daniel Vassell second. Daniel Gow third. He's gone past Bastion and Harris to get that car up into the crucial third position here at Eldora tonight.
Yeah, it just looks like they were batting a little bit too hard, and Daniel capitalised on that and slots into the final transfer position. So Joel Berkeley, Danny Vassell, Daniel Gow, your 3 transferees from Heat 1.
Wow, that was pretty awesome.
Some really great racing there. The guys were definitely no hold barred there.
Oh, definitely. And as you can see, the field is starting to grid up. Now we'll go through them. Let's get this right. So it looks like Cody Morosk in the number 22. He will be starting out of position 1 inside front row. Scott Butler second in the 94. Second row is the 77 of Jock Goodyear, and he's joined on the outside by the 98 of Tim Ryan. Gavin Sadler will start out of the third row in the 71. Lewis Clark in the 28 on the outside of him. Looking back to the fourth row, we have Anthony Bland and Matty Reid in the number 46 will start on the outside of him. And then Billy Ryan, he will be starting out of 9th.
So just wanted to let you know there, Bernie, there are no inverts for tonight's heat racing.
Okay, as long as I'm not sounding like a robot, I'm happy.
Okay. So waiting for the field to head out of pit lane.
So you can see the 98 of Tim Ryan there rolls out onto the circuit behind the pace car, and Gavin Saddler's also out there. These cars look fantastic under lights. They sound even better. But I tell you what, this race, keep an eye on Billy Ryan, Matty Reid and Scott Butler. He is in the pits. I don't think he's going to make the start.
No, it looks like the dummy grid officials have held him back there, so not sure if there was an issue there or not, but doesn't look like he's going to make the start here tonight.
So what do you do in that position? Do you just push the car behind the wall and call it quits, or would you still go out and knowing that you probably will not get into the top three?
No, you would put it in the back in the pits. Make sure you have your changes set for whichever main you're going to slot into, and make sure that you can drive your way through the alphabet soup.
Yeah. So we're waiting for the pace car to come in. Jock Goodyear will have control of this field. Pace car in. Here we go. Heat 2. And I tell you what, Tim Ryan got an absolute awesome start on the outside of there, but Jock Goodyear comes back up. Tim Ryan back on the inside here to take the lead. Good start there by the number 98.
Tim Ryan to the front, Jock Goodyear in second. Great start there by Tim Ryan. Just watched Jock Goodyear and made the run on the inside there. But Jock's starting to come back at him now. Does a great slide job up onto that wall. Gets the drive out of turn 4 and will lead momentarily, while Tim Ryan slides back up in front.
Have a look in third, folks. It's the number 46 of Matty Reid. He's come from absolutely the back of the field. Within 2 laps, he's up there because the number 71 and 33 were getting together and battling hard, and that's allowed Matty Reid to sidestep all that into third. But up front, we have Tim Ryan and Jock Goodyear trading positions here. Tim Ryan currently has the upper hand on lap 5 out of 8.
Yeah, I think someone needs to remind these two that they are taking 3. They are racing really hard for this first and second position, even though they have such a large gap. They definitely want this heat win, and they are not going to take any give from either of the two at the front.
Yeah, Matty Reid, he found the wall there. He's falling back in the grasp of Gavin Saddler in the number 71. 1 lap remaining. Can the 71 catch him? I don't think he will be able to.
Matt Reid out of the VRT Esports stable, so he is having a great run tonight in that third position. If he can transfer here, he will be very happy to lock himself into the A main. Yeah, for sure. As soon as you can get that ticket to the A main, you can start, not relaxing but looking forward. But your top 3 tonight, Tim Ryan takes that win in the 98. 77 of Jock Goodyear, second. Third was Matt Reid. Disappointment there for Gavin Saddler. We will probably see him towards the front in the B main and trying to make his way into the A tonight. Yeah, so we're now looking at Heat 3, and we'll see what Bob King can do in this one, eh? Yeah, Bob King will be off your pole position in position number 1. Lewis Hewitt beside him, so that'll be a great start to see. Brett Garatz out of 3rd position. Aaron Kelly out of 4th. James Robbie will be in 5th position. 6th place, Terry Marwood. Marcus Knitska will be out of 7th. 8th position, Lachlan Smith. And Stephen Watts rounding out your 9-car field. Fantastic. And here we go once more, folks. Hope you're enjoying it out there. If you are, give us a thumbs up. If you're not enjoying our telecast, let us know in the comments how we can improve this so that we can make it the best experience for you that we possibly can. Yeah, most definitely. We are here for you guys, so any improvements, we would love to hear them. So looking at the lineup here, are you game enough to pick a driver who's going to take this win? I can be game enough and just take a front rower. I would say Lewis probably here, just slightly to get the run over Bob. Looking deeper in the field to see if there's any drivers down there that you think can get into the top 3. I'm asking you because you're the expert. Yeah, definitely drivers to watch, James Robbie and Aaron Kelly, as we are green on the racetrack. We have 2 cars into the wall at the back there. We will stay green.
Yeah, quite a messy start there. King and Lewis got into each other at the start. That's allowed the 42 Brett Gerards there nearly to take that position. And Lewis Hewitt back into the wall here, having a very messy run. Drops down to 4th position. That's James Robbie coming up to take that 3rd.
James Golden Boy Robbie rubbing wheels there with Lewis Hewitt as they come out of turn 4. Tries to get the drive, just gets a little bump and has a spin.
Yeah, that's putting him down to 6th position now. Meanwhile, up front we have Bob King leading the race. Brett Gerards in 2nd, 3rd. Lewis Hewitt, he's gathered it back up again, but he's got Marcus Knitska now in the number 55 trying to hunt him down.
Marcus Knitska having another great night. Another one of our ASL solid drivers, always in the mix, always looking to go quicker.
Yeah, we're just riding on the left front wheel here, folks, so you can just see that suspension working around here. The track's looking in good condition so far, Sean.
Yeah, most definitely that high line and that cushion starting to really build up against the wall. You want to be getting that right rear right up against it to get that drive off the corner.
2 laps ago, here comes Lewis Hewitt on the back of Bob King. Is he going to go for the win, or is he going to sit there and play it safe for 2nd? I don't think so, as he throws it down low, comes back up high. Watch for Bob King down low out of that corner, and we'll see if, yeah, he's got it. Lewis Hewitt back into the wall. Let's hope he backs it off now, because you don't want to lose it with the final lap.
Just looking back at the 3rd position, it looks like Brett Gerards will hold on to that. Lachlan Smith, the hard charger at the end there, managed to get 4th position. We'll see him out of the B main. Great run there by Brett to manage to hold on to that 3rd place.
Yeah, so your top 3 was Bob King, Lewis Hewitt and Brett Gerards rounds out your 3 finishers. Here we go, lining up once more.
We are moving into our C main, Bernie. This will be 10 laps and we are going to take the top 4.
Okay. I think this is the first time we've run a C main in this series, isn't it? Or am I...
C mains, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you'd say, no, we run them every week. I look like a right twit. So anyway, let's go through our field for the C main. We will have the number 94 of Scott Butler. He will start on the front row inside. No, hang on. Let's try that again. I'll wait till they roll out, then we'll go through the grid, I think.
I'll read it through for us just at the moment. So your C main lineup off the pole position will be Dylan Sharman. Anthony Bland will be in 2nd position. Stephen Watts will start out of 3rd. George Fullerton will be out of 4th. 5th position will be Lewis Clark. Terry Marwood starting out of 6th. In your 7th position tonight, John Schultz, our focus driver. So it will be doing it hard to get into that top 4 to transfer to the B main. Position 8, Scott Butler, Aaron Kelly in 9th, and Shane Van Gisbergen, I don't believe has taken the start. We'll just confirm that, but he will be starting out of 10th.
And Lewis Clark in the number 28 also has been held, so he will miss out on the C main. Good news for the Scott Butler fans there. They've got the 94 fixed, and he will be starting up the back of our C main. 15 laps of racing for this race as Scott Butler comes to a stop. Don't tell me. Did I curse him? He's not. Yeah, he's out of the car. Oh my goodness.
You're having a great night tonight, Bernie.
So it looks like we've lost the number 28, Lewis Clark, the number 94, Scott Butler and Shane Van Gisbergen as we go racing here for the C main. Already got a car into the wall.
George Fullerton, that was into the wall as we stay green, no yellows in these mains. Dylan Sharman, your race leader, followed by Steve Watts, John Schultz, Aaron Kelly, Terry Marwood.
Yeah, as we see John Schultz there, almost getting in the back. It's checked him up a bit, and that's allowed Aaron Kelly, Anthony Bland to catch up on him. Remember, the crucial bubble here is 4th position.
As it happens, our spotlight driver holding on to that last position at the moment. John Schultz with the 3 cars behind him looking to take that position off him. Can he hold on for the rest of the race?
So he takes it down low and he'll come up high on the exit here, riding on the left front wheel.
Great battle for your 4th position here between Aaron Kelly, Terry Marwood and John Schultz. John trying to get the run around the outside.
Yeah, he's down there in 6th position at the moment, but up front it's all Dylan Sharman. He has broken loose and dominated this race. He's got a massive lead in the number 91. Steve Watts is 2nd, 3rd. Anthony Bland is also getting a bit of a breather in the 57. Then we go back to Aaron Kelly, who's also got a bit of a gap over Marwood and Schultz.
I do tell you what isn't normal, Bernie, calling Dylan Sharman in a C main. He will not be happy there, and he will definitely be on a charge in the B main to make that transfer spot.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it's a hell of a long road to hoe, isn't it? He's got to do well in the C main, then the B main, just to get back into the A main. Or am I wrong? Can't he get into the A main?
Yeah, most definitely. He needs to come from the back of the B, get into that transfer spot, and he will be starting in the A main, where he has to do it all again from the back.
Yeah, so at the moment, Aaron Kelly is in that crucial position as he just gets it a bit crossed up. We have finished that race. So your top 4 are Dylan Sharman. Did you get them? Because they've reset.
I will get them. Your C-main finishes, Dylan Sharman, Anthony Bland in 2nd position. 3rd place, Stephen Watts, George Fullerton in 4th. 5th position, Lewis Clark, Terry Marwood in 6th. 7th position, John Schultz, Scott Butler in 8th, Aaron Kelly in 9th.
Okay, coming up to the B main. Oh boy, taking a drink of water here. We'll take you through that grid very shortly, folks.
Speedway is fast on the track as well as off the track. These are full on nights, especially with the 3 classes, but it's great to be able to bring these 3 classes to the audiences in one night. It's something that is quite unique, and not many organisers are doing it at the moment, so hats off to the organisers of the Australian Speedway League Championship night.
Yeah, and the mission of this great league is to simulate what it's like on a Saturday night to go to Speedway. Start with street stocks, midgets, and finish with the sprint cars. But here's your field for the B main. Tammy Bastian in the number 23 will start in the front low on the inside of Gavin Sadler in the 71. 2nd row, Lachlan Smith and Ryan E.B. Harris. 3rd row will be Billy Ryan and Dale Jordison. Then looking at the 4th row is Mark Knitska and Cody Morrison. James Robbie will start out at 9th with, now they're jumping all over the place again. Have you, James Robbie, Anthony Bland 11th, 12th, Stephen Watts and Aaron Kelly will rolled out your field of 13.
I think we're having issues at the moment. I have been kicked out, so I'm just going to quickly rejoin the server.
Okay, no worries. Just waiting for the pace car to come in. 20 laps of the B main, folks. And here we go, racing once again. Tammy Bastian, the 23, puts the foot down, lifts the front nose, and goes in the corner there in 3rd. A very slow start for her there as she does a slide job up on the front of Lachlan Smith and manages to hang on. But out front at the moment is a 71 of Gavin Sadler. Tammy Bastian in 2nd, 3rd Ryan Harris, 4th is Lachlan Smith. And we can see there Dylan Sharman now in the 91. He's already up to 5th position and on a march forward.
Yeah, definitely a driver you want to be keeping an eye on. He, like I said, will be very unhappy to have started in that C main, and definitely have the red mist over the eyes and driving forward as hard as possible.
And as we said that, he got up into the wall. He's dropped down now to 7th position. So Gavin Sadler now starting to come under pressure from Bastian. Bastian likewise has Lachlan all over the back of her. And then the number 12, Ryan E.B. Harris, goes down low and tries to take that position away from Lachlan Smith in the 911.
Just looking a little bit further back in the field, Marcus Serkanix must have a little bit of an issue. He's hit the wall a couple of times and now looks like he is rolling out of it, so that's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, he brings that car to the pits. We can say good night to the 55. But meanwhile, up front, we have Bastian and Lachlan Smith now first, second. Sadler, something's happened to him. He's dropped down to 3rd in the 71.
Great racing up front as your field starts to spread out. We will be taking 14 from this feature, so it looks like everyone from the B main will be making a birdie.
Fantastic. Well, that'll give them all a sigh of relief as Bastian goes into the inside wall, comes back out, runs into the 27. That's Dale Jordison into the outside wall. I think these guys are teammates, and they're starting to trade a bit of paint.
We've seen a little bit of that tonight, so obviously it's great to see no team orders and all the teams just letting everyone race as hard as they can.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be Speedway unless you let them race as hard as they can, but at the moment, the 911 of Lachlan Smith, halfway now, folks, is leading this race, and he's getting quite a bit of a gap over Sadler's 2nd and Harris 3rd. I'll tell you what, that 71, he's starting to come on at the right time of the night, isn't he?
Yeah, as Gavin does, he picks away and definitely tries to get himself there by the end of the night. But a big run around the outside by Ryan as he takes that 2nd position off Gavin. Gavin falls back to 3rd.
That was an unreal move, wasn't it, around the outside there. It shows that high line, as you might say, is actually working very, very well as he just gets it a little bit crossed up, but brings it in low into the next corner as he throws that in. So, but at the moment, it looks like Lachlan Smith's going to walk away with this one.
Yeah, once again, Ryan showing us how you can quickly go from hero to zero. So we're commenting on his great run around the outside of the last corner, and then he comes out and gets a little bit squirrely after just tapping the wall coming out of turn 2.
I'll tell you what, Bastian in the number 23 got all over the back of the 71 at the end, but just missed out on that position. So your top 3 are Lachlan Smith, Ryan Harris, Gavin Sadler 3rd, just beating out Tammy Bastian in 4th position.
That wraps up our B main for the night. So we will go into a 5-minute practice for your A main runners. This is the final chance for them to just dial in their cars before we get into our 30-lap feature event here for WP Concreting 410 Sprint Cars.
I'll tell you what, we're going to have a massive field here in the A main, that's for sure. We'll take you through that grid very shortly, folks, once they've finished their 4 minutes and 21 seconds of practice remaining.
It looks like we will be starting 22 cars in this A main.
And yellows will take effect here, folks, so we can expect a few pace cars coming out. Who do you think the viewers should be keeping an eye on in this A main tonight, Sean?
Well, now definitely the Dylan Sharman is off the back. We should be watching him. Like I said, definitely should not be down there, so he will be looking to move up as quickly as possible.
As we see a few cars there getting crossed up, so keep an eye on him. The other one will be Daniel Vassell, Matty Reid. I'd keep an eye on both of those guys as well. And of course, I would not discount the number 71 of Gavin Sadler.
Nah, definitely look for Gavin to put a solid top 10 finish in for this 410 feature race.
I'll tell you what, they're going to find it hard to beat out the likes of Lewis Hewitt and Bob King, though, because Lewis is out there at the moment with no front on his car, but don't worry, they'll strap another one on in about 3 minutes, and away he'll go again.
Yeah, so it's interesting you say that. Currently the quick times at the moment, Tim Ryan, Lewis Hewitt, Jock Goodyear, so look for those guys to obviously be at the front in the feature as well.
Yeah, there's just so many great names in this A-main, isn't there? You've got Joel Berkeley down there in 7th as well. He's another one to watch. You know, it could be anyone's race, really.
Yeah, and that's what's a great testament to this league as well. So many big games, so many big names, so much good racing as well. So it's great to see Australian Speedway League putting on such a great event here for the fans.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's great to see iRacing bringing Speedway to the drivers and the fans as well. And I'll tell you what, it's settled in beautifully, hasn't it?
Yeah, this track definitely looking very racy. We are going to see a lot of slide jobs.
Yep.
So just while we've got this time, for the viewers at home that obviously don't know what we're talking about with slide jobs, it's when obviously you get the run down low into the corner and then you run up to the wall trying to cut off the run of the person that you're trying to pass. Obviously a successful one is you get into the corner deep enough that you manage to slide up in front, and as it happens often that doesn't always work, and we do see cars going into the side when they do misgauge that slide job.
I guess a counter to a slide job is, we've seen a few times when they slide in underneath, you'll see the car on the high side try to slide back in on the undercut on the exit. I'm assuming that's correct there, Sean? Or am I just...
Yeah, most definitely. The guys that know the slide job's coming will definitely pitch it in and look to drive down the racetrack on the shorter route towards the pit wall. As the car that's doing the slide job is sliding up, they've actually got the drive and they're trying to come out of the corner.
Yeah, and the other term that we haven't used tonight, but I've heard you use it last week, is when they think you say they diamond the track.
Yeah, so what diamonding is, you come in low, go right up to the wall, and then come back in low. Unfortunately, with Eldora, due to the radius of the corners, that's why I haven't said it much tonight, as this track doesn't really benefit that diamond effect like the smaller tracks like Lanier do.
Yeah, so thinking for next week, what we might do is pick one of these terms and we'll do a bit of a explanation of it during that broadcast. So if any of the viewers are out there and they want to know what a certain term means, just type it into our YouTube comments and we'll cover that off for you next week.
Yeah, certainly. Not just terms that we talk about either. Obviously, parts on the sprint car. Ask us questions and we'll try and answer them as best we can.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's roll through your feature grid tonight. Off your pole position, we have Joel Berkeley. In second position, we have Jock Goodyear. Third position will be Bob King. Fourth position will be Daniel Vassell. Jock Goodyear in fifth. Sixth position will be Lewis Hewitt. Daniel Gow starting out of seventh. And in eighth position, Matt Reed. Brett Durutz will be starting out of 9th, and in 10th position we have Lachlan Smith. Ryan Harris out of position 11. Position 12 sees Gavin Sadler. Tammy Baston will be starting out of 13th, and 14th position will be Dale Jordison. James Robbie will be starting out of 15th, and 16th position will be Billy Ryan. Cody Morse is starting out of 17th, and 18th position Anthony Blend. Aaron Kelly is starting out of your 19th position. Marcus Knitska out of 20th. 21st sees Dylan Sharman, and 22nd, Stephen Watts.
Well, that woke me up. So I thought a sprint car was exploding at first.
Yeah, something quite unique to Eldora, so we will also get a fireworks show at the end of the feature, just for you fans at home.
Yeah, looking from the blimp, it looks absolutely spectacular there as the fireworks go off and wakes us all up. It looks like we might not have 2 starters here tonight of the A-main. Looks like we might have lost Marcus Kanitzka and the number 5 of Stephen Watts. Both of them did not make the dummy grid.
Yeah, I made the comment in that B-main. I was watching him and that car didn't look happy at all. So maybe it was a little bit more than suspension damage to that car, and it looks like they've put it on the trailer for the night.
Yeah, that's the end of their run, but here we go, folks. The A-main is about to go. Joel Berkeley, he will have control of the field in the number 9. Keep an eye on Tim Ryan on the outside as the pace car comes in. We're about to go racing.
And we are green. Great start on the outside by Tim Ryan. He leads us into turn 1. Joel Berkeley in second. Third place.
Vessels around into the inside wall.
That's a shame for Danny. Such a great night tonight to have it happen and finish this main so early after just turn 2.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that replay, but we saw him he got caught up there, and just get the right camera here and we'll go straight back and have a look at this, folks.
He'll be very disappointed in that, running good in the points. He definitely didn't need a DNF tonight.
No, that's right. He's got it running again. He's right up the back of the field as we have a look at the start once more. Keep an eye on the 97 here, folks. We'll try to work out what went wrong. As he was getting up high there, he just got it turned too much and took him down across the front of the field and into the wall.
So just having a look, he may not have a lot of damage due to that, so being that he kept it going, we should see him be able to maybe move forward as we go green here soon.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at where he is on the track at the moment. There he is. He's down in 20th and the car looks fairly straight, and hopefully that won't put an end to his race. Lap 4 of 30 here, folks, but single file restart. Joel Berkeley will lead them away once that pace car comes in, which should be momentarily.
Yeah, Danny won't know just how damaged that car is until he does jump on that lap pedal for the first time. So let's see how he goes.
It must be tough for a driver to jump on that loud pedal. Not sure what you have under your feet, but here we go. Joel Berkeley, Tim Ryan, get a good start. Bob King, keep an eye on him 3rd. Jock Goodger up in 4th. Nice clean start here with Lewis Hewitt 5th and the number 20s around. Let's hope it does not bring out the pace car.
It has brought out the caution, Bernie. We are back under caution.
So that was Daniel Gow that brought out the pace car this time, and I tell you what, they're finding it a bit tricky out here at the moment.
Yeah, well, as you can see, that black line there is definitely high up the racetrack. The quick line is around the high line. The problem is if you do put that right rear on the black surface rather than the dark grey up against the wall, it will get the car very loose.
Yeah, well, what we found there is exactly what you said there. Daniel Gow did find the wall and he did get extremely loose, and he was lucky he did not get cleaned up because he pretty much went the same way as Danny Vessel went, and now he joins Danny down the back of the grid in 20th position.
That's the thing with sprint cars. If you do bring out the caution, you do not get your spot back. You will need to go to the back of the line.
Yeah, so we have 22 laps of the A-main feature left to go here tonight for the WP Concreting World of Outlaws Sprint Car Championships.
Drivers getting eager to start again. These caution laps really do take a toll. restarting is very hard in 410, trying to put all that power down. So every time we have a yellow, it is hard to get back into that mental state to try and start again. We are green.
You're riding with Tim Ryan on that restart, just to show you how much horsepower these things have as we go through for lap 9 here. So Joel Berkeley's leading Tim Ryan. Bob King is in third. He's coming under pressure now from Jock Goodyear, who's going on the inside line of him. Lewis Hewitt also into this battle.
Yeah, we see Bob pick that up early, switch back to the inside line and get that spot back off Lewis Hewitt. Changing positions, Lewis try to go high. Bob gets into the wall a little bit, manages to get away with it, keeps the car going, and
Goodyear's in the wall.
Goodyear in the wall.
And he's caught up, so that's going to bring out a yellow for sure.
And possibly put an end to his night. He may not continue after that. We see him still in the wall there as the leaders come past.
Yeah, he's got that car pretty much straddling the wall. We can have a look there, and that rear tyre's caught in the fence. He's had to get out of it, so that could be the end of his night, as you said. Just having a look at the replay here. Yeah, he's pretty much gone up there into that high line, and the dirt's just sucked him in. As you can see, he's pretty much stuck, and that he couldn't get it off.
Yeah, well, as you can see, it's less than half a car width now between that black spot and the dark grey, so it's becoming extremely hard to hit that dark grey lap after lap.
Yeah, and I guess once they get caught up in that high line there where all the dirt has been pushed up on the track, it's going to be mighty slippery up there, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. It's very slippery up there.
Yeah, so Joel Berkeley once again will have control here. We're nearly at the halfway mark as the pace car will be in very shortly. Tim Ryan second, Bob King third, Lewis Hewitt fourth. Rounding out your top 5 will be Lachlan Smith.
Brett Gerard's getting a mention there in 6th position. He's having a fantastic run tonight.
Yeah, and we can confirm Jock Goodyear has retired that car, so he's the first retirement. The cars that did not start was Marcus Knitska and Stephen Watts. Here we go, racing once again.
Joel Berkeley with a great start, gets down low, gets the drive out of turn 2 across the start finish line. Tim Ryan trying to go with him, but he's lost about 2 car lengths. Joel with a great start. He is your leader. 3rd position, Bob King gets a little bit squirrely out of turn 4. Can Lewis make any ground on him? He does a little bit, gets a great drive out of turn 2. Looking at this battle now, Lewis gets a little bit high up into the wall. We see him grab that dark dirt bit again.
Meanwhile, Lachlan Smith, Brett Garridas there, and here comes Matty Reid. He's up to 9th in the number 46. Can he improve any further? I think he can, because he's all over the back of Ryan E.B. Harris at the moment.
We are under yellow.
Just having a look to see if we can find out what has brought that out. It could have been possibly Dylan Sharman.
Dylan Sharman is sitting in the pits there.
So having a look, and he was flashing in and out, and we'll see if we can catch what's happened to him here. He was very, very high, and he's got major internet connection issues, which I think that's what's put him to the end of this race, or put him in the pits.
Yeah, certainly looks like some of the guys struggling with connection issues here. So that's just one of the things, unfortunately, in the virtual world that we do have to put up with. Obviously, engines and things don't have malfunctions, but our internet connections are definitely our engine malfunctions.
Yeah, for sure. And I tell you what, it's scary enough getting an internet connection issue when you're on a road track. I don't know what it'd be like in a sprint car 410 at a track like Eldora.
Yeah, everything happens so fast that there's just no time to react, and as we saw, that's put Dylan into the wall and probably obviously broke Jacob's ladder and the rear end there, and he couldn't continue.
Yeah, so that's our next retirement, folks. We're down to 18 runners of the A main. We have 8 laps remaining here. Let's hope they go to green, and we will know very shortly who's going to take out the WP Concreting World of Outlaws. Probably the next 5 minutes, I'd say.
Joel Berkeley bringing us around. Pace car will pull in, looking to get a good start. Make sure he gets all that power down to the ground, down low. Gets a good start again. 2 car lengths on Tim Ryan on that restart again. Bob King looking to go past Lewis Hewitt up in the fence there. Just made a little bit of a mistake coming into turn 1.
Yeah, that's allowed Lachlan Smith down on the inside, but right behind here comes Tammy Bastion, and in the number 23, just slides up in front of the 911 and takes 5th position. So as they go through once more, it's Berkeley leading the way here. He's got a nice big gap, means nothing if a pace car comes out. And then Tim Ryan in the 2nd. 3rd is Lewis. 4th is Bob King. Coming under pressure now by Lachlan Smith and Tammy Bastion. It's going gangbusters down here in 5th, 6th and 7th. We under pace car again.
Bob King got a little bit squirrely and we are under yellow. That wasn't Bob. I'll just find out who caused that yellow.
Might have been Matt Reid. He's down there in 17th.
That'll be unfortunate for him after having such a great run and coming up a little bit high.
And Cody Morosk is missing the whole front end. So let's jump back and have a look at Cody, because he might be a sure bet.
Usually when they are missing the front end, they have obviously caused some bit of damage.
Going back to the replay, I think he had that damage already. So we'll jump back up to Matt Reid. And I don't know, yeah, he's just slid and come to a stop on the infield and then continued on.
Yeah, a bit weird there. Not sure what happened to Matty. It's possible he has hit the wall before that we haven't caught, and he's just done a little bit of damage to that car and couldn't continue, and he's decided to stop. But he is running again now, so trying to sort that issue out by the looks of it.
Yeah, by the time the pace car comes in, folks, we're going to have 1, possibly 2 laps of racing to go here tonight. And at the moment, Joel Berkeley is in the plum seat, but don't discount Tim Ryan in the 98 or the Lewis Hewitt in the number 2.
This is going to be a great finish. Tim right up on the crash bar there, waiting for the green flag for our final lap here. Joel gets the jump on Tim, but Tim follows him, tries to go to the high line.
Yeah, and Lewis Hewitt was caught napping a little bit there. That brought Bob King back into it. It's going off down here. Tammy Bastion in 6th position as we come in to the, well, it's finished by the looks of it.
Yeah, Joel Berkeley is your race leader. We saw Tim Ryan try to get the run out of the inside there, but just too much drive for Joel around the top, and he is your 410 feature winner tonight.
Yeah, fantastic, as we can hear the fireworks go off once again here at Eldora, and we'll take you through the full finishing positions shortly. My goodness, they lock the fireworks over there, don't they?
Yes, Eldora does have a great fireworks show, pre-race and post-race.
Yeah. So we can see our race winner out there in the number 9. That's Joel Berkeley celebrating. But while he's doing that, let's go through the full results here. And so you can see where your favourite driver finished. So Joel Berkeley takes the win. As we've said, Tim Ryan comes home 2nd in the 98. Lewis Hewitt 3rd. Am I breaking up again?
No, you're good.
Okay. Bob King finishes 4th. 5th, Lachlan Smith. 6th, Tammy Bastion. Coming home in 7th was Brett Gerards. 8th, Ryan E.B. Harris. 9th was Gavin Sadler. 10th, James Robbie. Coming home in 11th, Billy Ryan, followed by Daniel Gow in 12th. Home in 13th, Anthony Bland. Then we had Aaron Kelly finishing in 14th. Cody Morosk, 15th. 16th, Matt Reed. 17th, Dale Jordison. 18th, Daniel Vassell. 19th, Dylan Sharman. 20th, Jock Goodyer. Marcus Knitska did not make the start, nor did Steve Watts in the number 5.
So what little bit of racing we had there, we did see some great racing. Obviously Tim Ryan trying to get around Joel Berkeley there, just couldn't make it happen. But definitely those top 5 in with a chance at any point in time if we had some more green flag laps.
Yeah, definitely. And without further delay, though, we have our race winner in the green room. I'll bring him up, Sean, and you can have a chat with Joel.
Joel, great win tonight. Obviously a tough racetrack from what we saw. There wasn't much room for error to try and hit that high line with that slick just sitting below it.
Yeah, that track was really, really tough out there, but I think everyone did well, and yeah, we got a fair few green flag laps in.
Yeah, we were just talking about those yellows. How hard is it to get mentally focused again after running a yellow and then making sure you get the start and then get back into your rhythm? Obviously, those yellows do break that rhythm up.
Yeah, those yellows break the rhythm up, but once I got going there, I felt really confident in myself there in the car and what we had put together. So I think had the fastest car there tonight, hands down, but yeah, could have easily lost it with a mistake on that last caution or that last restart.
Yeah, definitely the restarts were what you were doing best tonight. You were pulling 2 to 3 car lengths on each of those restarts. The last one, Tim got a little bit close to you there. He tried to get the run out of turn number 4 to the finish line, but you just had too much drive around the top. So that was a great setup in that car tonight, obviously.
Yeah, Tim got a bit antsy on that last restart. I think he tried making the most of it and yeah, sort of made a meal of it, but he almost did enough to come back past me on turn 4. So credit to him. Good job to everyone out there.
Joel, obviously there's people you want to thank that put some time and effort into this car.
Yeah, massive thanks to the boys at TTL Esports. Wills for we put a fair bit of time into working ourselves since the build. Oceania Speedway footage, down to graphics, hyperstimulator, everyone else that helps out. You guys for broadcasting and Gavin for hosting.
Thanks for your time tonight, Joel, and congratulations on the double header.
So, folks, that was your WP Concreting World of Outlaws winner for tonight, Joel Berkeley. So that brings us to the end of our interview tonight, Sean. But before we go, did you want to sum up what you thought of what we saw tonight?
Yeah, well, Joel summed it up there. The track was hard. We saw that with most of the guys obviously trying to run that high line, but just couldn't quite hit that high line each and every lap. So it's just a testament to the guys that can do that lap after lap. So the track was definitely hard tonight. The guys did a great job. I mean, I know we did have a lot of yellows, but on a track like that, we could possibly have not had any green flag running at all. So testament to all the guys in this series and a great testament to the organisers of the Australian Speedway League for putting on yet another great show here tonight.
Yeah, it was fantastic racing, that's for sure. And folks, next week we will have Clint Smith back in the combox with Sean O'Hara to call all the action. But before then, if you like your NASCAR action, come back and join us tomorrow night. We'll have the voice of NASCAR, Darrell Eastlake, that's Steve Hoppett. He will be in the combox to help call that action. And then Friday night, we will be backing that up with the Porsche Carrera Cup come Saturday night, if you like your GT3 action, tune in earlier in the night for the racingleagues.com GT3 series, and then we'll back that up with the Sim Racing Asia GT3 series starting at about 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. But until then, Sean, thanks once more for jumping in the combox, mate, and calling all the action.
Thanks for that, Bernie. It's been a pleasure commentating with you tonight. Hopefully we can do it again further down the track.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. You'll definitely be back, whether I am or not, that's another story. But, folks, hope you've enjoyed tonight's coverage of the Speedway. It's been great having you join us tonight. Hopefully we'll catch you up with you later in the week, but if we don't, wherever you are in the world, have a fantastic Easter. And until next time, on behalf of Sean O'Hara, I'm Bernie Weemers. Thanks for watching and good night.